smile and nod.
We're Susie-less. Hello, we're Susie-less.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes?
Eventually, our lovely GM will join us,
Yeah.
but for now, it's just chaos.
Welcome to this week's episode of Behind the Actors.
Oh my
Jay is
god!
literally.
I don't know. We're just riffing now.
Destroying VMix with his ghost keyboard.
Hi everyone. I'm Jay Britton, voice actor and tabletop player, and now a beautiful redhead. This is delightful. I'm going to grow my hair and dye it red. Tonight, I shall be playing for you Arthur Mythfold, a halfling charlatan from the city of Heartholm, who is a very honest chap, just looking to make his way in the world as a reputable tradesman and purveyor of fine silks and timepieces. That's me.
Hello, I'm Quinn. I use she, her pronouns. I write weird tabletop games for, the masses TM. Today I am playing Violetta Orsanov, who has never done anything wrong a day in her life.
Hi, I am Vangelerp, aka Angie, and I am playing Herta Stellar's daughter, an elven astrologer who actually hasn't done a bad thing in her life, but depends on who you ask, I suppose.
I'm Tom, Hotflakes Tom, and I'll be playing Scythian, who is a guard at the Cathedral District, the Cathedral of the Protector. Nothing probably could go wrong in that district. It's brilliant, it's great, and I'm sure he's not going to get horribly scarred by the flames.
Hi, I'm Gabe James Games, game designer, cosplayer, and today I'm playing Skrut. And unlike this group of liars and nonsense speakers, I steal things, I kill people. That's what I do.
And
now
we're going to take it to Past Charlie with an ad from our lovely sponsors.
Before we begin today's show, I would like to take some time to remind you about our sponsors. Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice. All of the beautiful maps and roles you see tonight are done using Fantasy Grounds, which you can try for free at fantasygrounds.com. You can also get all of your miniatures from Wayland Games. Go to waylandgames.co.uk and get yourself a huge range of D&D, Warhammer and 40k minis for up to 20% off regular retail price. And Tabletop Loot, who sell incredible dice. Go and check them out at tabletoploot.com.
Where is our GM?
We're back. Our GM is not. Lovely.
We are forlorn. We are lost here, deep in GM-less void. But at least we have books.
We could describe our characters.
So, when we were
still... What, you mean our secondary characters that we came up with?
Jay, what does your character look like?
When we were all last
Say what
together, we were creating our characters, right? So in Session 0, we figured out what was going on in the immediate aftermath of the last Zweihander miniseries, I believe it was. So
with
things
that
had
kind old man
exploded.
in it.
Yes. the very kind old man who's
so
never
kind.
Yes. But yeah, the Cathedral District, I believe, had exploded quite literally, and we were all figuring out where we were when it happened and how we had reacted to it.
Yeah, we've had an interesting question that's just dropped into chat from Amelia Tyler, who is on other ERP shows as we speak. Tell us how you're the same as your character and how you're different. Does anyone want to go first, or as I pose the question, should I throw myself on the sacrificial fire?
I mean, Fall on that blade for us.
Fine. So I'm the same because I also have rambunctious, delightful red hair. Underneath this red hair wig, there's just more red hair. How am I the same as Arthur? I think I've probably got the same cheekiness that Arthur is probably going to exhibit. And the slight chancer, oh, yeah, go on then. I'll see if I can get away with this attitude. And, you know, ambitious. I'll throw that in there. It's a vaguely positive quality. Like, Arthur wants to get his market stall, and he wants to have that special spot in the market guild church, as it were. And I'm relatively ambitious as well. But I'm not sneaky and manipulative, and I don't dive into sewers at night running secret drug scams in and out of a city where I may or may not come across other characters who are up to the same. So yeah, I'm not the bad side of Arthur. I'm all the good things. I'm lovely. Anyone else?
I mean, we can go in order. Like, if we want to go down to Quinn.
So, Violetta is a lot, TM. I mean, wholesome, completely wholesome. I mean, I really like to fuck with demons, so that's clearly the most obvious one. It's the chaos vibe, and honestly, she's a little more of a... I wish I were as brazen as Violetta is going to be. She is a firecracker. And Violetta fucks.
Wow, that's a soundbite. That's a soundbite.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a clip.
That needs to be clipped.
No context.
But yeah, so for me, Herta and I are similar in the fact that we care more about like Joe Schmo than we care about any kind of like religious affiliation or organization. Otherwise, oh gosh, I don't know. Like, actually, we're very similar because I have a weird relationship with my extended family, and I'm very much into like, I guess I'll call it the woo-woo stuff. I'm not like huge into astrology itself, but I am into like pagan stuff. And I wish I could cast magic. And I wish I had ears like this, but that's about it for me.
For me and Scythian, I don't think there's a huge amount that we're really kind of similar. I mean, he's a fighter, and I'm really not a fighter at all. He is very religious, and I'm not really religious at all. Maybe, possibly, borderline morals, maybe. Some, like, you know. But that's about it. I think we're two very, very different people. Which is worrying, because if I play this guy all goody-goody, people are going to think I'm an evil bastard in reality. Which would, you know. But honestly, not really. This is something completely different from who I am. We'll see how it goes.
I probably shouldn't lead with Skrut steals and kills people. If we're comparing ourselves to our characters, I don't do those things. But Skrut is definitely the person who spends a lot of time sneaking around and sneaking into places and climbing. And I definitely found out that, like, when I was at least younger, and some now, I'm pretty light and I'm quiet, and I really like sneaking through like the woods or cities at night, which is probably a bad idea, and that's fine. But it's never trespassing, because that's illegal, and I don't do that. But yeah, it's probably the sneaky weird stuff. Like I climb trees for fun, and I climb buildings, but buildings it's easier to fall from, and I don't like falling.
Which I'm going to guess you've got in common with your character.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he doesn't like falling. If he goes up, he's going down on his own terms.
So are you both into parkour then?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But Skrut can do a backflip and I can't. That's
Yet.
I mean, I can do it on a trampoline, but I never want to see a trampoline in a fantasy world. Ever. because that can just lead to horrible circumstances.
So
It's like-
I want to say a quick hello to stream. I think they can now hear me, and I am disembodied voice of Twitch director Charlie. Just a quick interruption to let you know that Susie has currently had a massive computer crash. She is fine. We're working on getting her back up and running, but thank you very much, Windows, for that. So what I would like to do is continue our little question and answer session, and hopefully she will be back. We are very near to a Wild Magic Surge, so in 3 more retweets we will be unleashing some more chaos on the future game. Massive thank you to the cast for taking over for this time, as you were, my friends.
So we've had another one in chat.
I want to go
who
first.
says, which character would you... Is it just me so you can stab him? Because there's already been threats.
No,
There's already been a lot of threats in the green room.
Gabe's fine with Arthur, and I could just leave.
Oh, that's true. Of
Skullduggery
course, this is not
hates-
character on character. So the question is, which character would we most like to hang out with in real life? Go for it, Gabe.
I want to meet Violetta because I want her to be my hitch. I want her to be like, you want this person? Here's what you do, baby. And I'm like, oh my God, it worked. And then she summons a demon. I'm like, that's problematic. But if we can go back to the pickup lines, yes, baby.
I love
Honey,
it.
sometimes the demon is the pickup line.
Oh no. Maybe. Huh.
Oh boy.
And that's how the world ended.
My name is Gabriel. And sometimes angels fall.
Oh no.
Dear God. Tom, do you know who you'd want to hang out with in real life?
I'm not sure yet. Because I feel like barely know any of the characters. I only know basics.
First impression, who would you want to hang out with?
I don't
You
know.
could say your own. You
mean,
could say your own.
No, I don't want to hang out with him. Nut job.
None of you, you're all awful, is probably an acceptable
Yeah.
answer
I
as
mean,
well.
could that be because I don't know. Maybe I do like space and stuff. So maybe maybe her. Yeah. I think okay, yeah. Because she's got her own observatory. You got your own observatory, kinda, and I think that would be really cool. So yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I don't know if it would hold 2 people or not, but we can try.
No, we'll work it
That's
out.
fine.
We'll work it out.
It's built to code. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We used genuine 100% bamboo. It's fine. I got the certificate. It wasn't made by my mate. Don't worry.
Gosh, I think I would actually. This is not just because you said mine. I think I would like to hang out with Scythian just because I would love to just like corrupt him.
Ah. Hi, Susie.
Not,
Wow.
not in the way you guys think, because like I have a gutter mind, but it's mostly I like to make people blush. So
That's
it
not
would be
corruption,
hands
that's
off
flirting.
corruption. No, not even flirting. Just like say crude and lewd things because he seems like a pure boy. I'm a terrible
with
person.
piety.
Hi.
Yes. Hi, I'm back. Hey. Hi. Am
We're
I coming?
doing
Hi.
Q&A. Yeah, we were doing Q&A while you were gone.
Technology. Hey. Great. Love it. Best thing in the world. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
So, how
Should-
did we
should
get
we
around
finish?
everybody's? Yeah, finish this round of question. Don't let me interrupt.
I would probably
okay.
want to hang out with Skarut because I want to learn parkour.
That's. You better
And also because I wanna show you demons.
not growth. Probably teach you how to pick pockets, switch pockets.
There are some
And
things
definitely-
I don't need to be taught, honey.
Wow.
We're all gonna live. We're gonna be fine.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
gonna be great.
And just because nobody picked him, I'll hang out with Arthur. It's fine.
Look, Jay.
I'll take him to the pub.
Jay.
He can teach me how to. What? Tom?
Arthur
I'm
was
upset
close.
now.
Arthur was a close second. Okay.
It was also
He
a close
just-
second for me.
He doesn't
good.
have space. I'm just
Good.
putting it out there, man. That's why.
Everyone's favorite second choice. That's what everyone wants to be.
I mean, he is a little shit, right?
He is a little shit, but I tell you, he would be great fun. Like, I tell you what.
That's why I almost chose him.
Pack your
We
passport
get
and a
in so
spare
much
pair of
trouble.
pants, because who knows what's going to happen. That's what
Oh
you'd
my
get
God.
from him. Whatever, me and Arthur are going down the pub. I hate all of you.
Off to a wonderful start this game.
Personally, I'd
All-
hang out with the demons because I'd probably be less at risk than with you lot.
Valid.
Yeah. Okay. So, thank you for covering for me there, folks, whilst we had that tech problem. But are we ready to get this show on the road? We ready for some grim, some perilous, some bad times, some good times, some sad times? Right? All right.
All of the above, yeah.
So, I wrote a little thing for this. You are dying. You don't know how, why, or even where. But as you feel your life's essence slowly drift away, you're sure. This is it. This is the end. You've heard all the stories about angels coming to claim you, loved ones calling you into the beyond, and so forth. A part of you can't help but be disappointed that there aren't any pearly gates to welcome you. There's just nothing. It's a bit disappointing. As you lay there, your mind races through all you've seen and done, all you've accomplished, all that you've failed to do. Could I have been better? Should I have? I don't suppose it matters much now. Your mind drifts back to that day in the cathedral ward, that day that changed everything forever, that day that set you upon the path that led you here. And as your consciousness ebbs and you breathe your last, one final thought crosses your mind. You know, they say you shit yourself when you die. Hope I don't shit myself. But enough of such a dreary tale. Let's turn our attentions to the past, and indeed to that fateful day. It is a grey and drizzly day here in Heartholm. Storm clouds hang low over the city, threatening to unleash a tempest. But the city's denizens seem unfazed by this as they go about their daily lives. The market is bustling and vibrant. The streets are alive with musicians and dancers, and in the cathedral ward, everyone is preparing. For tonight is the night of the great hunt. And so that night comes. The beast is unleashed, and the hunt begins. But something's wrong. The hunt is interrupted. The screams of the beast become the screams of men as the monster escapes into the city. But who interfered? And why? Perhaps you'll never know. Though you'll surely feel the consequences, as will the innocents of Heartholm. For now, they are at the mercy of the beast, this terrible creature now free in the city. And as the night draws on and the queen parties the night away in her palace, where are you tonight? Do you stay inside, safe from the hunt, or did you seize the opportunity of quiet streets and closed shutters to head out into the night? And I would like to start with Arthur. Where are you on the night of the hunt?
So, for those who may not have seen it in session 0, Arthur hates demons. Has a complete, well, hatred is the wrong word. He is terrified of demons, anything vaguely demonic related, beasts, the whole lot. So he has this sort of ritual on the night of the hunt where he makes sure he's home before dark. He's got the fire going. He's got food in. All of his lanterns are lit. And he does his little routine just before he knows the hunt sets off. If I remember rightly, was there a bell that rings? That's like the
Yes,
start of the hunt. Yeah.
Yeah, like all the
So-
cathedrals start ringing their bells.
So his kind of routine is always like, by the time those bells ring, he's got every bolt closed, every window shuttered. He is locked down for the night, and he is not going anywhere. Probably with a good book.
As you're bolstered down for the night, you have every shutter locked and bolted. Your front door is triple bolted. Nothing is getting through that. You hear a on the front door. Arthur, is that you? Are you in? Arthur!
He would pause like a little bit too long, because like this doesn't happen on the nights of the hunt. And he'll very, very carefully just set his book down, walk very slowly to a few feet from the door. He doesn't put his ear up against it or everything. Who is it? What do you want?
It's me, it's Betty. Are you in? I mean, I know you're in, I'm talking to you, but I need you. Can you let me in?
It's the night of the hunt, Betty. Come home.
I know it is, but I need you. Arthur, please, come on, please. And she's still hitting the door.
Oh, for the sake of the gods. He'll go and like open the door quickly. Get inside. Just bloody get inside.
Okay, and you see a very disheveled-looking fellow halfling sort of bust through the door. Her hair is kind of all over the place. She's got a shawl sort of half thrown over one shoulder as if she's been in a rush to get to you. And she says, it's back at the temple. Little Timmy is stuck in there, and I didn't know who else to come to. I mean, I know he's a little shit, and I know you've caught him thieving a couple of times, but he really looks up to you, Arthur, and he needs you right now.
So he's like already shut the door and is bolting it back up again. What do you mean he's stuck at... What? He was supposed to be on bloody hours ago. What's he doing at the temple?
Well, he snuck back in. He was going to do a surprise for you. He'd set up like a little table just for you, and something happened, and the stock fell on him, and he's under some bags, and I couldn't lift him. I'm, my age, I can't lift things anymore.
That stupid little shit. Right. Stay here, all right? Just keep the doors shut, keep the fire going. I'll be back. And he sort of bustles over to like where he lays out all his, like if you like phone, wallet, keys kind of section of his house. And he just grabs like his coin purse and his usual stuff that he takes out with him. And he has a flintlock pistol that'll just grab from the side and holster it. Doesn't intend to use it, but it's the night of the hunt. He's just being careful. And he'll get to the door and he'll just turn and he'll sort of just check his timepiece as well, just gauging how long he's got left before the bells go off. Right, if I'm not back in half an hour, you bloody come and get me, all right?
Yeah, I will. And she's already taken a seat on like I imagine you've got like this overstuffed like little poof for your feet, and she's already taken like a little seat on that, and she's fanning herself because she's clearly been in a bit of a state.
Help yourself to the kettle, but don't bloody touch nothing, all right?
You got it.
Right.
God bless you, Arthur.
And he'll be out the door, but like mumbling under his breath, bloody Arthur, stupid little shit, can't get stupid marketplace. Get me out my home.
All right. And so you head off into the night towards the cathedral district. Okay. Skirt, where do we find you on the night of the hunt?
Probably stalking around the streets, looking for places that don't have a light on, actually. Anyone that's out involved with the hunt might make for easy pickings in their homes.
All right, cool. So I would like you to make me the first test of the night. I would like a, let's go for a awareness test as you sort of look around for...
So my perception is a 37, and I rolled a 38.
Oh, so I forgot to say this would be a standard test, so there's no sort of modifier either way. Unfortunately, a 38 is not going to do it. So you're looking around, and there doesn't seem to be anything that's really easy picking. So there's a couple of houses that you look at, and then you have to look again because it's not that there's no one there. They just have the shutters closed, and that's obscuring any light.
No, these people chasing a nasty diseased dog. Stupid. And then I'm probably going to make my way to the cathedral to see if there's anything that I can really scavenge for myself while they're still trying to make do with what they have.
Okay, all right. So are you trying to do this quite stealthily on your way to? Yeah. Okay. So I would like you then to make me a stealth test, and this will be a standard.
Okay.
So there's no alteration either way.
That's a 12.
A 12. Hot damn. Okay,
Yeah.
so you sort of just melt into the shadows as you're walking through the streets, and you can see there's not much in the way of town guard out tonight, as there normally isn't with the hunt, as they kind of keep out of the way to let the hunters of the cathedrals basically be in charge of the streets that night. But you see a couple of passing patrols, and these hunters are nothing more than ordinary folk in just maybe like a heavy leather coat, carrying torches and some crude weaponry. And you could pass a couple of patrols, and they don't seem to see you as you sort of just slip away into the shadows and dart through alleyways, and you do even a little bit of clambering up on little roofs where you have the space to. Before you make your way to the sort of main cathedral district, and you can see here there's a huge central square, and this is where there's this huge cage which is currently covered by a tarp, and there are people stood around it, each with a torch in hand and weapons in the other. And there's a sound coming from within this cage that sounds like a dog, maybe, but it is loud and it sounds big. You can't see it right now under this tarp.
How big is this tarp?
Oh, it's huge. Like, it's the size of a building.
He kind of like grips a little bit tighter, and then like looks around at everyone acting so calmly to this.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of dog is that? And I think I would actually probably just like, I'm so distracted, I'm just gonna sit and wait.
Okay. So you sit and wait, and you watch as you see someone approach and kind of lift the top a little bit to look at this creature. And you see like almost skeletal dog claw that's covered in like bone spines. And there's like a wet, viscous sort of muscle that you can see like on the back of this thing's hand. And the cage jolts as this creature lunges at whoever has just lifted the top. You hear this growl in the back of its throat, which is bestial, but there's something strange about it. There's an almost human sound to it.
I don't like this. And like a dang idiot, he's gonna try to get closer.
Okay. All right. So you hop down from where you've been watching, and you sort of step forward. Are you trying to do it stealthily again, or are you just walking out to be like,
I'm just
whoa?
walking. He is very confused. This makes no sense. Have people been telling him the truth for like years, and he thought that they were just crazy idiots? And then it's the realization of, I haven't actually seen this big tarp because I usually avoid this area. They've been chasing this thing for years.
Things
And
like
it's okay. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so as you step forward, you sort of join the edge of this group. We're going to actually quickly cut to somebody else, but we will be back for Skarut's
fine.
POV.
Great.
Violetta! It is the night of the hunt. The streets are quiet. Everybody's kind of occupied doing their own thing tonight. What are you up to?
I believe I was going to try to catch some sort of late night mass or service to one of the gods dedicated to darkness and or the night.
Mm-hmm.
But I am also very interested in what my dearest, darling, loveliest Antoinette might be doing at the party. So I'm in the general area, just kind of under the pretense of piety.
Uh-huh. Okay. So I think what is happening then, I imagine there's like a midnight mass at this church that you're headed to.
Mm-hmm.
And Antoinette is there in attendance, but after she's at this midnight mass, she's going to go to the Queen's Ball. She's been invited. Like that's but conveniently, just as you're about to head in, she has forgotten her gloves, and that's just would not do. So she steps outside to go retrieve them. And she catches your eye and sort of tilts her head towards a sort of secluded nook. And
I'll
she walks
follow.
off. Mm-hmm. She walks off to the nook, and I would like you to roll me a awareness test, as she's led you into a dark, shadowy area.
Oh no, it's this time I get murdered. Let's see, so that's numbers. That's a failure. That is a 97.
Oh, that's almost as bad as it gets. Okay.
Normally I'd be like, yippee, I'm sure things are great. Now I'm going to die.
Okay, so you walk into this, like, it's basically, for all intents and purposes, it's a posh alleyway. And it's completely dark. And you can't see Antoinette here at all.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of stood there looking for her when you feel a slight pressure on your shoulders that turns you and pushes your back against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear a voice so almost purr into your ear. It's very dangerous out here tonight, my dear. You shouldn't be walking into dark alleyways all alone.
I think I would go for my boot knife at that.
Mm-hmm.
Do I recognize the voice?
Yes, it's
Is it
Antoinette.
her or-
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, cool, murdered. But I would relax a little and, well, you're the one who led me over here, aren't you?
I'm Violetta, so easily led.
The hard ones, but the hard ones.
Mm. And you feel her sort of kiss you, and it's quite a passionate kiss. There's some sauce in here. As she pulls back and she says, "And what does your heart want, my dear?"
Whatever yours does, of course.
And you hear her sort of like giggle to herself as she says, "You know, I've always found these midnight masses to be quite boring. What do you say we get out of here?"
I suppose I could catch another one.
We have plenty of time.
Plenty.
And she takes your hand and begins to lead you away into the darkness towards somewhere a little bit more private, a little bit more intimate, as you have a quite pleasant evening amidst the sounds of the bells chiming, because that timing. Okay, so as we pan away from the pan to the fireplace, metaphorically speaking, we cut to Herta.
So I think Herta would still be in her ramshackle observatory, just observing the stars as she had been doing in session 0, trying to get a read on something. It's kind of like she just feels there's something in the air. So she's like, I'm going to try and discern what it might be.
All right. Okay. So, sorry to just interrupt you there, Charlie. Angie, I don't know why I keep calling you Charlie. It's like the blonde.
All good.
I don't. Anyway, so we got a donation for a crit to Arthur. So thank you so much for that donation. I believe that was from Fallback. So Arthur, you got a crit. That means it's an auto success. And so in Zweihander, the way we do our donations is a crit is a auto success and a crit fail is an auto fail. So if you want to donate for those. All right. So in your ramshackle observatory, Herta, you can see you're looking out at the stars.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to gauge what they're telling you today. You know, there's all sorts of messages and symbols and things you can read within the stars, but today it's very cloudy. It's very overcast. You can't see much. It's being obscured from you, especially in your observatory. But as you're up there, it gives you a great view of the city. It gives you a great view of the merchant district, the pleasure district, the palace, the cathedral ward. And you can see as your attention is drawn down from the sky down to the cathedral ward, where there is just torchlight all around, as you know it to be the night of the hunt with their preparations. But there's something else that catches your attention there. You see it for just a moment. A flash of bright blue.
That's odd. Huh. She would... She'd be debating with herself about whether she should investigate or not.
Mm-hmm.
And then she'd probably climb down and go, because a flash of blue is interesting, and that might be the sign that she's been looking for all night.
All right. And so as you head out towards the cathedral ward, chasing after this flash of brilliant bright blue you saw, we pan across to Scythian. So, Scythian, on the night of the hunt, where are you?
I will probably be on duty at the cathedral.
Okay, and what does that look like to you? What is your duty?
So the beast hasn't been released yet, has it?
No, not yet.
Okay, so really, once the beast is released, most of the guards would go into the cathedral and protect the cathedral. But currently, at the moment, just guarding would be just outside the main gates to the Cathedral of the Protector. So he'll be in his uniform, he'll have his sword at his side and his shield on his back, and he'll just be kind of looking around at people and welcoming them in to the temple, the cathedral when they come in. From the entrance, the way I pictured it, I pictured like all the cathedrals kind of like looking into this square, this.
Yes.
And that's where it is. So he's going to be eyeing it. The beast has always been a fascination for Scythian, and he's probably just eyeing it, wondering what's underneath, thinking about what he's going to do when he actually is released while he's protecting the cathedral. So it's a few things like that's going through his head, wishing that he could be one of the hunters.
And you have a companion with you on this guard duty on the other side of the door, because I imagine it's like the big sort of cathedral doors, and you're kind of like posted up either side of them. You have a fellow guard there, a sort of tall woman who she stood there with her arms crossed, and she's sort of like welcoming people as they come in. But as you see one of these hunters step forward and lift the top, and you see the cage shake as this beast throws itself at the side of the cage. She goes, "Fuck me, what have they got in there? What do you think it is?" And she looks across to you.
He'll look. He'll smirk a little, and then I imagine, well, it's big, whatever it is. Some sort of, I don't know. Some giant beast from the damned, I imagine.
Where did they get it from?
Well, search me. I mean, they go out to find these creatures, right? They go outside and bring them back.
I guess so. I don't know. I've never been a part of it, really. Can't say I've really cared to.
You never wanted to be one of the hunters?
No, are you fucking kidding me? This is a
I don't
cushy
know.
job. I get to stand here. Yeah, my feet are fucking killing me. This arm is chafing my tits. But I get to be alive at the end of the day.
Yeah, I suppose, but I mean, don't you want more? I mean, think of the glory you could have hunting one of those things.
Yeah. I'd love glory when I'm picking my intestines up off the floor, yeah.
Well, you just got to be good enough not to lose, right?
Aye. Wouldn't that be a...
So you want to just stand here the rest of your life, picking up a few coppers? I mean, serving the protector, of course, but you don't want anything more?
Well, not when I've got a wife and kid at home, no.
Well,
Not really.
yeah, well,
That is
I've
my
got a-
something more.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm quite lucky. My wife, she supports me.
Oh, does she?
Well, that's what she told me. I don't know. It's quite possible she was thinking of something else, but yeah. It's still a few years off, I don't know. Fancy thinkings. Fancy.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I mean, you do you. You do you.
Kind of boring tonight, huh?
Yeah, a bit quiet now. And then the beast makes this roar from the back of its throat, like a screech. And she sort of shivers, goes, oh, nope, goes right through you, nope.
You know what? I'm probably glad I'm not on this hunt. This one is a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you very awkwardly sort of try and disguise the fear that has just kind of come through you as you've heard the sound, we cut once more back to Skarut, who is edging closer and closer to this ring of guards, of hunters with the torches. But before we do, we unlocked a wild magic surge, and I'm going to give this one to, just bear with me 1 second. We've already rolled its effect, but I'm going to give it to Squirt.
Oh,
Okay.
joy.
So, the next creature slain by you is consumed in flames for 1d8
That's
rounds. So remember that.
Horrifying.
Remember that. Perma flames. Oh, good. Okay, so that will always just be on fire. Okay. So, Skarut, you are edging forward. You see these figures intimidating in their armor. These are not the same as the guards you've avoided in the streets. These guys are something else. These are the professionals. And you can see they've got like brand new weaponry on their hips. Some of them have pistols. Some have like blunderbusses. There's others with hammers of huge size, swords. One has this blade that has these notches in it like you've never seen before. It looks vicious. It looks cruel. And they're all stood just staring at this cage.
They're pistols, you say?
Uh-huh.
I want to try to steal one.
Okay. All right. So that will be, I believe, skullduggery, because that's involving like theft and stuff like that. Let me just double check.
I spent plenty of ranks on that.
Skills. Where are my skills at?
That's who I am.
Just double checking rules and things because I want to make sure I get it right. Where is it at? There, I found it. Yes, okay. So, roll me that skullduggery test. It is going to be challenging. So take your final total and take 10 off it.
Deal.
So it's going to be a bit harder.
Let's see. Okay. So I rolled. You said take 10 off of it.
Yes.
Okay, I rolled a
So
48.
you got your total that you have to roll under, and then
Yes.
make that total 10% smaller. So 10
Okay.
smaller.
I rolled a 48. The total that I have to roll is 54. Oh, jeez.
So you got a 48?
Yeah. That's
Okay,
terrifying.
so I need to roll for this person that you're trying to steal from to see if they are aware of you. So just bear with me 1 second while I do that. 90. Jeez, that was a bad roll. Okay, so
Or a good one.
a good one for you. So there's this one sort of person there. They're wearing like this face mask which covers the lower half of their face. They've got a hat on that's obscuring basically everything except their eyes. They're stood there with arms crossed, staring down this cage, and you can see like their coat has been kind of pushed aside a bit where this beautiful pistol is there on their belt. And feeling as thrifty as you can with your fingers, you sort of just get in there and flick very lightly the little latch which is keeping it attached, and it just drops ever so slightly, and you take it into your hand.
I go like 20 feet that way and still will look at the cage.
Okay, so what do you do with the pistol? You just got it in your hand, or you just like
Stuff it in my pants.
Okay, so in goes the pistol, and you sort of 20 feet away, you walk away towards the cage, and the group of hunters now is starting to advance on the cage. The circle around it is getting tighter and tighter. Back across the plaza, Scythian, this is your cue to start locking everything down. The last stragglers are coming in. You're shutting the door. You're bolting it from the inside as they get closer and closer. And there's someone on top of the cage now. They've climbed up at some point while you were busy stealing this man's pistol. And they're pulling a rope, which is removing the top. And Skarut, you see this thing now. It is horrific to look at. It is like a dog, but a skeleton, and it's huge, and its mouth is like that of a lamprey eel. It has a ring of teeth, and it's covered in just bones and muscle and spines. It has huge claws. And it looks around, and it looks like a frightened, cornered animal. And it bears these teeth in this sort of horrible mouth, and it screams, and it sounds like a man screaming as it does so.
But it does look frightened.
It does look frightened, yes.
Oh, now I feel bad for it. I lean over to someone next to me. That's a big dog.
And they laugh. Yeah.
I'm gonna leave. Like this.
Okay. As
is
you
bad.
leave, you see the huge bleeding eye that Jay put on its tail because he's sad I didn't mention that bit. So there's a big bleeding eye on its tail too, which looks at you as you walk past. And it looks oddly human as it sort of follows you as you leave.
Very quietly, I say you deserve better.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna walk away.
So, as everybody now within the cathedral district, in your own separate parts, if you've all made your way there, you're all dealing with a whole range of shit which is going on right now. Arthur, you have made it to the temple. You've pulled little Timmy out from under the sacks of grain or whatever else he'd managed to scrounge together for you. He started making your own sort of semi-illicit table in the temple because you're not really allowed to trade there yet, but he had started making you one. And he's very grateful when you pull him out, and he's all like, "Oh, I'm really sorry, Mr. Arthur. I didn't mean to cause you any trouble. I know it's the night of the great hunt, and I know that you don't like to be outside, but I was just trying to be helpful." And he's like all tears.
So, look, Timmy, it's all right. It's all right. Don't worry about it. All right, you're just trying to do something sweet. Just look, you don't owe me nothing. All right, Timmy. if I'm going to get a stall here, I'll do it out of hard work and ambition, my son, all right? You just worry about looking after yourself.
All right, yeah. It's just that, like, my mum always said that I got to help a geezer out, and you're my favourite geezer.
Oh, I know, Timmy. It's all right. Don't worry. You ain't done anything wrong. We got to get you out of here, like, sharpish, all right?
Yeah, all right. Okay, and you both
grab him by the hand and kind of jostle him out.
Yeah, you both head out into the nighttime. And as you are leading little Timmy through the streets, you feel it before it happens. The air around you drops to an icy chill, and you see your breath as it's expelled from your lungs. It's biting almost, and as you look down, you see a puddle at your feet begin to freeze over. The earth beneath you begins to rumble, and a deep cataclysmic shake rocks your core. You see great cracks begin to appear in the ground, and a cold blue light filling them as the very walls and foundations of the cathedral district and surrounding areas begin to tear themselves asunder. What do you do?
Arthur will... Like, how old is Timmy as a,
He's
I know
like
he's a kid,
8.
but... Okay, Arthur will, like, immediately... Like, he doesn't know what happened, he doesn't really care. He just sees stuff cracking and it's clearly something's going wrong. He immediately scoops up Timmy and starts running away from what he would consider, like, the center of town. So the cathedral district, he just scoops Timmy up straight away. Hold on tight, lad! And just starts legging it away from the city center.
As you've scooped him up over your shoulder, you hear the little tiny voice in your ear go, "Fucking hell!" As everything starts going to hell around you.
I think Arthur would still just, like, shout back, "Language!" and keep on running.
Sorry, I mean, blimey neck. Okay, so as the cathedral ward starts to destroy itself around you, I would like to know what each of you are going to do in this moment. So Arthur has picked up Timmy, he's legging it. Violetta.
I have an aristocratic woman with me. Woof, where did we go is the real question. I'd probably stop whatever we're doing. Probably. And
I think even, like, she makes a comment about, oh, did the earth just move for you? Like, she's never going to miss an opportunity to make a joke like that.
Normally, Violetta would have a comeback, but I think she can get a sense that something is very not right. Do you have a safe place to go to? Not here.
Well, I was due to be at the palace tonight. I can't imagine anywhere safer than the palace. Oh,
I assume you can't have a +1 to that, can you?
I have my ways.
Let's do that then.
All right. And she's, despite the fact that things are terrible, she seems actually oddly calm about everything. She's kind of got that sort of rich person privilege where it's like, I'm going to be fine. I've got enough money that this is fine. This is not a problem. Like, this is someone else's problem. And so you kind of get the vibe that she's regarding this as just like, oh, how bizarre. As she sort of takes your hand and you begin to sort of make your way out of the cathedral ward. Because I imagine she took you to, like, a secluded private garden to have your nighttime rendezvous. Yeah. So you take to the streets, and you've unfortunately found yourself back where the commoners are likely to tread, and you can see around you people are sort of spilling out of homes and out of buildings as they're all very confused, looking around to see what's going on. and these cracks are opening up in the ground. Herta, you have just about made it into the cathedral ward, not quite near the central plaza, but much like the others, you felt the earth literally move, and you heard that rumble, and it's icy cold here compared to where you were. It was kind of semi-chilly. It'd been raining all day, but it wasn't this cold. And now you're seeing these people running towards you, and you see in the distance this blue light flaring up.
She would probably try to, because the earth just moved, she'd probably try to find like a stoop where like she can put her hands in a door frame and just kind of brace herself, because that seems really not safe.
Okay. So I'm going to make you roll a test for this. There's plenty of doorways. And the
Excellent.
cathedral ward being as old as it is, there's tons of like stonework and buildings that have been there for centuries. So you think that's probably going to be okay to shelter you in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
So you post up, get braced, and you see people running past you screaming, mothers with babies and all the other usual tropes. And there's a couple of hunters that are like, go on this way, trying to shepherd people out of the area. Scythian.
Does she catch any word of, does she catch any word
No.
of like what people have seen? Like, is anybody talking about what's going on?
No, people are just running in a panic right now and screaming.
Okay.
There's no, if you're hearing things, it's confused chatter of an explosion or earthquake or something like that. They're just trying to speculating at this point.
Right.
Scythian, you have battened down the hatches within the Temple of the Protector. You've posted up for the night. You're ready. You can kind of semi-relax a little bit. You've done a couple of these shifts before. Nothing has ever happened beyond like minor disagreements of people that are sheltering in the temple. But as you're sort of just taking a swig of your water flask, you feel the shaking. You hear the rumble, and you hear screams outside, but you're not sure whether or not that's to do with the hunt or not.
Okay. I'm going to just have a look around with everyone in there, see if anyone seems panicked or worried. Anything like, like hysteria yet or anything?
There's people gasping. There's, that collective as it happens, and the confused sort of chattering amongst people, the checking on each other. A couple of babies have started crying. And there's like I imagine one of the priests of the order is kind of stood up there and urging for calm, checking to make sure that everybody's okay. There's no hysterics happening in the temple right now.
Okay. What did the guard next to me have a name? Did you give her a name?
Sure. She's called Alex.
Alex. Okay. Okay. So he's gonna get up and have a look around. Alex, I'm gonna go check what's happening. I'll keep an eye on things.
All right. Yeah. Don't go getting any of that glory. Yeah.
No, I'm still a few years out of that. And he's gonna essentially just kind of like go to a window. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of windows there. Maybe I'm hoping that they're all not stained glass that you can't see through. I'm hoping there's at least one or two that's just a normal window.
Yeah, I mean, it would probably be in one of the sort of like antechambers, because the main thing would be all like stained glass, like the main sort of hall is. But you pop in and you sort of peek through. You stepped into like the little priest's office, which is their actual term for, but I can't remember it right now. And you look through the window. And it's at this point where the second sort of tremor hits, and you are thrown to the ground. It's that sort of violent as a tremor. And this light now from the window, rather than being the soft yellow of torchlight from outside, is now a piercing bright blue.
Oh, God. So I literally can't look out the window because it's so bright.
It's not so bright it's painful to look at, but it's very It's a very bright blue.
So he kind of shelters his eyes from the bright, and he's going to have a look and see, just what's happening outside. You know, I mean, is this an earthquake? Is this magic? Is this what's happening? Is this the monster that's doing this? I mean.
So you look out trying to see what's happening. You sort of shelter up against the light through the window, and you can see directly across from you is the Temple of the Scribe, and you see the side of it, and it's a beautiful dark sort of alabaster, not dark alabaster, bright alabaster, and you see like this huge crack just wind its way up the side, and you hear that of the stone just snapping and breaking.
Oh, hell. Oh, and he's going to run back down. And as he's running, he's going to look around for the walls of our cathedral if there are any cracks showing.
So you look around and your head's darting everywhere. And you can see on the ground where the priest is, where the dais and the altar is at the end, in front of the grand windows, a huge chasm just opens up in the floor.
What, where the priest is?
Yeah, he's right on the edge of it. And he sort of like looks at you and raises a hand in that slow motion action movie as he falls backwards.
Siphon's he's going to try and extend his arm, but no, he can't get there, and then just stop. And Alex, we need to get everyone out of here now. And head to the front door and just start unbolting everything we possibly can.
And she's already up. She's barking orders, trying to get as many people away from that as she possibly can. But the floor is starting to crumble, and it's starting to fall in, and people are screaming as they're being dragged down into this chasm, again with this horrible bright blue light. And they just fall. Their bodies just keep falling. You don't hear an impact.
He's going to stay at the doorway until the last one that hasn't fallen is out. So he's like ushering them through as quick as they can.
Okay, and so you're just ushering, you're screaming people come through, and you get a good chunk of the people. Unfortunately, you just lost some in this chasm. It's
okay. And then and he's going to turn. Okay, Alex, will you lead them across the bridge and get them out of the cathedral district? Okay, I think that's what we got to do.
All right. Okay, let's go.
All right. And then we're
so
gonna.
the both of you, start ushering people away, trying to get them out of here.
And if we see like anyone else, just random people, we're going to usher them into that group as well. So kind of get as many people as we can to follow us to safety.
Yeah. Okay. So as you do, you see sheltered in a doorway a elven woman with dark skin and blonde hair. She's kind of bracing in a doorway as everything is falling down around her.
He'll turn. He goes, "Come with us. We're moving out. Come on."
All right, I guess. And she'll move with.
He'll go, move quickly. Stay with the crowd. And he's kind of constantly looking around for anyone else, and again ushering.
What is happening?
I don't know. Earthquake or I don't know. Just keep moving.
All right. she's just gonna move.
Okay, and Skarut sorry, go ahead, Tom.
What? Siphon's gonna take a look at the cage.
Yep. It's empty.
Is it in there? Oh shit! And then he's gonna kind of go, Alex, and point to the cage, and then draw his sword, and then start moving people through.
Okay, and she's like, "Oh fuck!" and she's got her sword out. And she's running with you two, and her head is now even more on a swivel than what it was. But you don't hear the beast just yet. But all you can hear right now is the sound of tumbling masonry, the screams of people as they're running. Skarut, you had decided to say fuck that to the plaza, to the beast, when things just started going to shit around you. You felt that chill. You saw the cracks start appearing in the ground around you, that bright blue light, and everything starts crumbling.
Love it. Ironically, you're gonna love this, Scythian. I'm gonna try to climb a building and see if I can see the creature.
Okay. All right. Roll me a athletics test. This will be difficult. Challenging. So that is minus 10 to your goal.
That's a 4.
You rolled a 4?
Yeah. No, 14. Excuse me.
Oh.
I'm incorrect.
Damn. Okay.
So,
That's good.
this is never gonna happen again. I want you to understand that everything's gonna go to hell after this.
Ironically, climbing a falling building has actually been really helpful as parts of the sort of fascia have dropped away, giving you perfect handholds, and you just scurry up as high as you can. You're up like a parapet of one of the cathedrals, and you sort of, one hand sort of like look out across, very Assassin's Creed-y, the city to see if you can find this beast. And you see
nighttime, right?
Yes, it's nighttime, yeah.
So my elven trait is the one that allows me to see in the dark as long as there are lights, as long as there are stars or the moon in the sky.
Nice. Okay. I mean, it is overcast, but there is still like the moon peeking through. But you didn't even need night sight to see this. You see a bit further into the city towards where the sort of entertainment pleasure district is, where the taverns are. You see what appears to be a small ring again of hunters. You see the flames of the torches, and you see the a big dark shape, which you assume must be the beast. There's nothing that big in this city, but it is suddenly pierced by several bright rays of light that seem to explode out of its form. And even up here, as far away as you are on the top of the cathedral, you hear it scream as these light beams just explode out of its body, and you see it take off again deeper into the city.
I'm gonna chase.
Okay, making good decisions, Gabe. I'm proud of you. Okay.
Yeah, I made too many good decisions earlier. That's not
All
why
right.
we play this game.
Okay, so I would like another coordination test to get down from this building and make your way across to chase, as it is starting to crumble. So again, this is going to be challenging.
Oh, coordination. Oh,
Yes.
that's. I don't have anything of that. That's a 36
Okay.
to my. Yeah, no, that would be a fail because my agility would then be a 34.
Oh, okay. So just as a general reminder, up there on this bit over here, you'll see these tokens. You can use one of these tokens to do a reroll, and that will basically allow you to reroll that dice. You do have to take the second result. If you do use one of those tokens, which we know as fortune tokens, I then get one as a misfortune token, which I get to use as a reroll.
That's fine.
So
I
you
accept
can.
it.
Okay, you can use a token.
Yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
do a reroll for me.
That's a 27. Much better.
Nailed it. Okay, so you come close to losing a grip a couple of times as this building is now at a different angle than the one that you climbed on, as it's starting to fall down, and you are like, oh, fuck, this is it. But as the tower sort of collapses, you manage to sort of like skid surf down it, and successfully land without much issue. And you sort of make chase deeper into the city.
Just going after this thing.
Okay.
We connected.
It was one creepy eye to another creepy eye.
Two creepy eyes. Yeah.
Did the creepy eye wink? Did it wink?
Of course it did. Just imagining Skarut doing the ad. You were a horrifying beast in the plaza. I was a rogue stealing a man's pistol. We had a moment.
Ooh, I can give it the pistol as a wedding gift.
Hey! Okay, so... Jesus. Arthur, you have tiny Timmy. You've got him up in your arms. You're running. He is not a halfling child. He is a human child. So he's about the same size as you. His little feet are nearly scraping on the ground. As you pass this group of people running and fleeing, they're headed by a young man who seems to be in charge. He has a weapon drawn and he's giving out commands.
I think, I've learned a lesson about not assuming that Betty the halfling would take me to go and save a halfling child. I just like, oh, sure, he's a halfling child. It's fine. That's fine. Just throw him on like a sack of potatoes. But I think Arthur will probably... He won't be looking to get involved. Like, you know, he's well out of his comfort zone here. So he'll just like have now huge, enormous Timmy on his shoulder and just be like scurrying down the street, not looking to make eye contact, not looking to cause any trouble. He just wants to get Timmy home so that he can get back to his kettle and Betty and the fire.
Okay. And Violetta, you see a very similar thing as you were being led by the hand by your lovely companion for the night. You now seeing these people streaming through the streets, and you see again this young man leading a group of people into what you assume would be safety.
Sorry, was that to me?
No, it was Violetta.
Oh,
Violetta.
Okay, I was like...
Antoinette, are you quite sure the palace would be safer?
Well, I would have thought so, but, or maybe it's not. What if this is an attack of some sort? What if the palace is next? We could be running to our deaths.
My thought exactly. Perhaps we should, once in our lives, follow the crowd, as much as it pains me to say.
That's a preposterous sort of notion. And another piece of masonry falls like an inch from her face. And all sort of color and laughter that she had about the moment kind of like leaves as she's like, oh, perhaps we should, yes.
Quite. And I'll link arms with her and kind of haul ass a little bit.
Okay, so as you sort of join up with this group of people fleeing the scene, we're gonna do something a little cool here. We're gonna kind of semi-twist the chase scene rules to make your escape from the cathedral ward. But first of all, I would like everybody to make me an awareness test. This is just standard. There is no negative or positive modifiers to it.
The 33 for Arthur, which will be a crit success.
Nailed it.
So I'll take that as my first roll. I'm not rolling any more for the whole campaign.
No more. That's it.
That's a 49 for Skarut, which is a failure.
Okay.
That's a 15 for Scythian. I don't know if that's a really good... My perception's 40, so it's pretty good.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a success. Angie?
38.
38. Is that a success or a fail?
And we're going perception?
It is awareness, which is a perception
Awareness.
test.
Yeah, so that is a success for me because mine is 43.
Okay. And Quinn?
I rolled a 3.
Oh! Which is a success for Violetta. So is it Violetta or Violetta?
Violetta.
Violetta. Vi. Sorry, I want to make sure I'm saying it right. Okay, so...
Wait, did everyone succeed except me?
Everybody succeeded except for you, unfortunately.
Great, because I'm
Sorry,
chasing the
okay.
demon dog. Should have known.
That's it, right? You gotta keep your eye on the prize, which is not a demon dog. Okay. And next, I would like everybody to make me a coordination test. And Gabe, that is going to be 10% more difficult for you because you failed your awareness test.
That's fair.
It's a fail for Arthur.
And a fail for Herta.
That's a pass
That's
for
a fail.
Skullduggery with the 27.
Ooh.
Siphon got a 28, and that's a pass.
All right, now you're just showing off.
And Violetta got a 30, which is a pass.
Okay.
Scooter, your number was still better. It's all good.
No. I'm very competitive.
Yeah.
You're still winning.
What am I winning? Life?
Yes. The most
Oh.
important prize of all.
Okay, so the way we do chase scenes in Zweihander is something pretty cool. There's like mechanics for it. So I would like everybody, again, to roll. Sorry to keep making you roll, Jay, after you said you weren't going to roll anymore in the campaign. We're doing initiative. And that seems that shows where you are on the pursuit tracker. Now, usually in this case, there's usually a bad guy that's chasing you. In this case, the bad guy is Oblivion in the explosion of the cathedral ward. So you kind of want to not lose. Just saying.
So does this
So-
we roll for this as opposed to the initiative that's in our combat profile?
What do? You roll for initiative. You have that number, and then I think you roll something for it as well. I can't remember. Off
I
the top
remember
of
it
my
being
head.
weird. I'm just looking as well.
Is it a D10?
I think it's a
Enormous
D10 and you add
book.
them, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's roll a D10 plus your initiative because I can't remember what it
Right.
is right off the top
Okay.
of my head right now, and
Oh,
that
boy.
seems right.
I got
Oh,
a
God.
solid 8.
I
Oh,
got a
boy.
9.
Yeah, that was it, Susie. I found it. It's a D10.
I
That's- yeah.
nailed it. Okay.
So
Oh,
far,
boy.
Arthur will be 14.
Hey. All right, you're all right by
Okay.
my book.
Same Z.
So,
We can die together.
Whoa, didn't say that.
so who got the highest there? Was it Skarut?
Arthur and Skullduggery tied.
Oh, it's tied. Okay, that's fine. Tying on a chase is fine with 14. That's also 14. What did you get there, Tom?
A 9. I rolled a 1.
Me
Oh,
too.
buddy. What did you get, Angie?
I got an 8.
And Quinn?
I got to 12.
Ah, fuck.
Ooh. Which means, as you are running, Herta, you're a little bit slower off the draw than the others. Okay, so the next thing we do is we determine your escape value, which means how good you are doing the runs. So that is your movement base number plus 1d10.
That's cake. 14.
So, sorry, what was that, Gabe?
14. 8 plus
14
6.
again? Nice.
And
Okay.
17 for Arthur.
Ooh, speed
Ah,
boy.
right.
Nimble little fucker.
Ass little
And a
bastard.
16 for Violetta.
Oh, what the fuck?
Not my first time running away.
Sorry, what?
Wow.
What did Siphon get?
I will put into just, that I am helping people escape. So it's a
Uh-huh.
strong 7.
Ooh, we swapped
Oh, a
it.
strong
'cause
7.
Yeah.
I got a strong 8.
Okay, so
I doomed us. I'm so sorry, Simon.
okay, so As you're running, Arthur, you want to protect this boy. Timmy is a good lad, and he doesn't deserve to die horribly. You got to get him home. And your little legs just go like an engine. You are off. Yeah. You are saving this boy. This unknown paternal instinct within you has kicked in. You got that crazy old lady strength, basically picking up the metaphorical car off the baby with Timmy. You're legging it. Close behind is Skarut, who is kind of all in one chasing this beast and also really nimbly dodging these cracks in the ground and those holes, like sinkholes as they appear. He's going for it. Violetta is out with her secret love, you pulling each other along, keeping each other stable. Sorry, Violetta, I did it again. Violetta, keeping each other stable as you're sort of running through, and the pair of you are managing to slip through gaps in buildings and as people. Okay, Herta, with your weak lungs, running is not exactly something that's in your list of things you're very good at. I feel that. I don't have weak lungs as an excuse, but running sucks, and Herta is not having a good time, but the desire to not die is keeping you going, and even though these breaths are coming in ragged and your chest burns, you push on. Scythian.
Yes.
I would like for you to roll me a 1d6 chaos die as you are last in the order, and you may face a complication.
Brilliant. That's straight off. 6? Is that good? Is that bad?
No, that's bad.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, the one time you didn't want to roll high.
It's Scythian.
That's the exact number that you had to hit to get a complication. So
cool. What does a complication mean?
I'll tell you in a sec.
Okay.
Such an overachiever, Tom. Oh. Could have gone 5, but no.
Look. I was helping everyone get out, you know?
All right,
That's
you
all.
made sure I lived.
I made sure that she got out, yeah.
Roll me
Serves you right for
D100.
being
Tom.
noble.
D100. Okay.
Uh-huh.
63.
Okay. Okay, so 63. As you're running, you see this old man sort of peer out of a doorway, and being the ultimate Boy Scout, you try and get him to safety. You know, if he doesn't move, he's gonna die. But this is one of those belligerent old bastards that sort of hangs out where a volcano is when it's like on his doorstep, and he's like, "No, I'm not leaving my house, you fucking bastards! You'll take me out."
I've lived here for 85 years.
Yeah.
I've lived here my whole life, and they're not gonna take my house from me because of some fake fucking earthquake.
And he holds you up because you're trying desperately to get him going and to leave for his safety, and he will not budge. So you are stuck. Actually, make me an intimidation test.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I'm trained in that. Ooh, let me just check. I am trained in that. Ooh. Okay. And I rolled a 92.
Don't forget those tokens are there to be used, and they do
I'm gonna
refresh
use a
over
token.
time.
I'm not gonna let this old man hold me up. I'm not gonna let an old man. Oh, fucking duck.
Don't do that.
No. Oh my god! I'm like. I needed a 56.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
Okay. So you.
Hang on, I'm re-rolling character now.
The old man starts swinging at you, and mechanically you lose your next turn and you move one step down the peril tracker.
Okay, cool, peril tracker. So what was that? Imperiled or unperiled, right?
You were being imperiled, yes.
Imperiled. Ooh.
As this old man, so angry that you would try and take him from his home, starts swinging at you. And you are held up for trying to help.
Never try and help. That's the lesson we've got here, folks. Never try and help anyone.
Y'all talk
Especially
about
the
me for
elderly
chasing the
in a
demon
roleplay.
dog.
Okay,
Bugger.
so I would like everybody again to roll me one more d10 plus your movement, except for Tom, who doesn't get a turn this time because he tried to help an old man.
12. 6 plus 8.
12.
12. That's 12 for Herta.
Also
Arthur?
12.
It's a 9.
right.
Combo breaker.
Okay, so as you all sort of get on a pace with each other and are all sort of in a weird line and you see each other as you're running, except for Arthur, as little Timmy unfortunately catches a bit of his foot on some rubble and he sort of slips out of your grip a little bit and you stumble as you pick him up and carry on running. I would like you to roll me a d6 for complication, maybe.
Oh, man. Just leave the kids, Jay.
I said it in Green Room, but we're all Naruto running, and that's why Arthur can't catch up. His arms are too full.
4. Okay, you don't suffer a complication as you manage to keep your footing and run as you're holding this child, as you see ahead of you apparently Violetta, Herta, and Skarut Naruto running, because apparently that's who we are now. All right.
For fuck's sake, Timmy, stop fucking moving.
I'm sorry. He
Go
cried.
on,
Oh my god, I love it.
Wait, am I carrying SpongeBob?
Oh, thanks for that. You can, yes, just as a heads up, friends, you can use those tokens for the Chaos Die rolls too, which means I can also use them for Chaos Die rolls. Just so you know. And Fury Die. Okay, but I'm not gonna, because I'm a kind of benevolent god. All right.
Do it.
One more escape value roll, so movement plus a 1d10. And you can do it this time, Tom.
So what was it? Movement plus 1d10, yeah?
Yes. It's a nice looking
That's
one there, Angie.
Oh, isn't it beautiful though?
It's an
All right,
18.
so 18 for Skarut. Arthur, what did you
Naruto
get?
running is stupid.
16.
16. Scythian?
7.
Big 7. Big strong 7.
Can I just pick up this old man and just carry him? I think it'll be
No, you're
easier and
fine.
quicker.
I got
All
a
right.
6.
6 for Herta. And
Yeah.
Violetta?
17.
17. Damn.
So pick up that D6, huh?
Okay, so yes, a d6 for you there, Angie.
Huh? Oh,
Oh, you're safe. Okay, but Violetta and Skarut, you are ahead of the pack. You are running for your lives. It is difficult. It is treacherous as this ground is literally falling away beneath you. And now you're hearing it in the background, these explosions, almost like powder kegs that seem to have gone off. And as it does, more screams are heard. Okay, this is the last and final round. Does anybody, I need to ask, does anybody have a brawn bonus, a BB below 4?
I do.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I need Arthur, Skarut, and Herta to make me toughness tests. And this is challenging, so that's minus 10 for your overall total. So it's going to be
Oh, God.
a little harder for you to do.
Oh my lord.
That's a fail.
It's a fail?
Yes, I rolled a 56 and I need a 33.
I needed a 28 and I rolled a 9.
wow.
I needed, let's see, it's toughness. I needed a 32 and I rolled a 17.
You're all
Damn,
terrible.
okay.
Woo!
All right.
Telling you, don't mess
so-
with short people. We're really tough.
The elf is my height.
I was gonna say, who are you calling short?
Okay, unfortunately, that means that Skarut, you have started to become fatigued.
That's fair.
So let me just.
It's all that parkour.
It's all that parkour. It takes it out of you, right? Let me just get up the fatigue rule 1 second. I did write it down, but you know, keeping a note of that would be helpful. So I would like everybody, while I'm looking this up, to describe how you are ducking and weaving, how, Siphon, you escape from the old man, how you get out of here.
Okay.
I mean, wibbly wobblies.
Wibbly wobblies.
Siphon gets bored and just picks him up. He generally does just pick him up, slings him over his shoulder, and starts running. And I imagine he's hitting his back constantly as he's going like that, as he's running.
Okay. Oh. Okay, I found it. Hey, Gabe. Can you roll me 2d10 plus 2?
Oh, hell. Yes. That's plus like 2 more 2d10 or just plus
No,
2
just plus
2d4?
2. Just
Okay. That's 43. 43. Excuse me.
43?
Oh, am I adding it together? Not
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, no,
That makes
not like
much more sense.
Sorry, yes,
makes
just
much more
2d10 plus 2. I was like,
No.
I think that's possible.
No. Then it's 8.
8. Okay, if it's 8, you move down your peril tracker by 8. So there's the you'll have your peril threshold.
Yes.
If 8 beats your peril threshold, you move down a step.
Oh, that's horrifying. No, thankfully. What the hell? Okay.
Okay.
That's
Sorry, I phrased that
terrifying. I don't
initial
like
bit. So that is the consequences of fatigue. It was lucky you didn't critical fail your toughness test, because that would have been much worse if you had done. Okay, so
this game is scary.
you are feeling very tired, Skarut, as you are running. But you managed to keep your footing. You managed to keep going. Siphon, you've just picked up this old bastard. You've got him over your shoulder. He's flailing away with his old man fists, and you've probably felt something pop in there, as he's quite old, and they're not meant. Old people aren't supposed to be manhandled like that. But he's feisty, and he's kicking you, and you kind of are winded as he knees you right in the diaphragm. His little fur slipper dropping off. Herta, your lungs are burning. It is painful, and the dust from the air is catching the back of your throat, and you wonder how long you can keep going. Violetta, you have the hand of your secret love clenched tightly as you're both running, and as you're running, she trips, and her hand slips out from yours. And as you turn to look, she's already gone in the crowd of people behind you. You hear your name called out briefly, but you can't see her. And Arthur, you have Timmy on your shoulder. He's crying now as he looks behind him. And as you quickly look over your shoulder to see what he's crying at, you can see a flash of incredibly bright light as everything around you explodes. And you all lose consciousness.
But Timmy.
But Timmy. Oh, Jay, don't give me that face.
Okay.
Fuck Timmy. Timmy's dead.
Don't say that.
He might be alive.
Wow.
all right.
This game has a great track record with kids.
Pope just wrote in chat, Timmy is a crash pad.
He's a bit of a stat buffer. I'll take that. He's a good roll talisman.
I did envision
God.
Timmy as being quite a chunky kid. You know?
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so Siphon,
Yes.
you awake and you are floating. It's very cold all around you, and you can feel your body suspended somewhere. As your eyes open, you have to fight that initial instinct to take a breath as you see your face down in water.
I'll try and get myself up. Am I just floating in water, or
Yes,
I'm
you're
floating in water?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try and right myself and kind of float. He's going like that because he's wearing armor, so he's probably quite heavy. You know, he's wearing like brigandine, and he's like, and he's gonna have a look around, and well, what could he see? I mean,
so
there was an old man, and he's gone.
Sort of right yourself, and you can feel the weight of your body pulling you down, especially with the armor in the water. But you're quite close to the riverbank, and you see around you bodies floating in the water. You see burning. You see the bright blue flames ahead of you, and just destruction.
I'm going to, because I can feel myself being pulled down, I'm going to swim as hard as I can to the shore.
Okay, that is actually a test. I would like you to make me an athletics test.
Okie dokie. Would you just give me a fucking break? Okay, I've got skills in athletics, you know. It should have been a 56, but I've rolled a 79.
Oh no! Hang on. Again, there's things to re-roll.
Shall I just drown now? I've already used my re-roll.
There's 4 more.
These are for
5
everyone,
more.
are they?
Yeah, they're from everybody. Yeah.
Oh, in that case, I shall re-roll because I really don't want to drown.
It's probably not optimal.
Oh, come on!
So do we start playing taps now?
So not only was that a fail, that was a critical fail, which means that Scythian begins drowning even better than he was before. And the weight of your gear, Scythian, just drags you under the water. And before you got time to sort of cry out for help, your hand just splashes down and you are pulled under the water.
Okay.
We're gonna just skip back a few seconds before Scythian started drowning to the rest of you. Herta, Violetta, Arthur, Skarut, you find yourselves in a very similar situation. You are in this water or on the sort of river bank. You're adjacent to the scene as you sort of come to consciousness after being blasted off one of the bridges of the cathedral ward. And you sort of start pulling yourselves together. I would like you all to make me an awareness test to see if you can spot Scythian. This is going to be challenging as it is dark and there are lots of bodies in this water.
Tom, I adore you, but that means I need a 27.
I believe, Gabe. I believe.
That's
a success for Arthur.
Arthur,
I think that's a crit fail for me, isn't it?
Yep. So Herta, as you sort of come to, you sort of rub your eye, but there's all that sort of silt from the riverbank and it's just obscuring your vision. You can't see and it's gritty and it's painful and you're breathing heavily with your lungs that are kind of semi-water and dust filled right now. As you're sort of just coughing up a lung, you don't see Scythian. Violetta, what did you get?
I got a 50, which is
50?
a failure. Yeah.
Okay. So Arthur, as you sort of, being a smaller gent, you wake up in this water. You don't feel Timmy on you anymore. You don't see him immediately around you. But as you panically scan around, treading water, looking for Timmy, you see this man sort of wake up, the young man who was leading people before, and you see him look around before he's pulled under the water without a gasp.
Okay, so so in my quick scan, looking around, I don't have Timmy. I can't see Timmy immediately around me anywhere.
Nope.
And I see this guy splash. I think, to be honest, the first thing Arthur's going to do, we'll take a little dive under the water to see if he can see Timmy.
Okay. Roll me another awareness test as you sort of duck your head under and look around.
Okay, awareness. Looking for a 41 or under. Ooh. Yeah, that's a bad fail.
Oof. Okay. So you don't see Timmy. You do see some horrible things. You see people with bits missing, people with eyes wide staring at you who have clearly drowned. They haven't quite yet started floating.
Okay, so he'll immediately come back up to the surface, like actively getting away from the things that are under the water. Remembers, now Timmy can't see Timmy anywhere near him. It doesn't look like he's under the water. Thinks about the guy who was now second on his list to save. If I look around, are there any other guards like him, or people who look like they're positions of authority, or strong human folk? Are there any of them floating in the water?
It's kind of tough to tell at the minute because of just the sheer number and the chaos of what's happened. But you do see a sort of young elven man who looks quite well built, with some sort of muscle on him. He's in the water. He's kind of just dazed, looking around. You see a young woman also kind of look around on the riverbank. You see another woman sort of rubbing her eyes. People are clearly alive in here.
Okay. Arthur will, because he's so small, this is the only way I can think of describing it. He's just doggy paddling. He's not really a swimmer. So he's just over to this elven guy, just shaking him. Yeah, help him, he's just gone under. Just shaking this elven bloke.
And Herta. Oh, the elven person, sorry. Skarut. So Skarut, this small halfling man comes up to you and starts shaking you, begging you to help.
I swat him.
Okay.
You were swatted, Arthur.
I don't know who you are. Don't shake me.
Is that gonna? Are we doing a damage? Are we into PvP?
No,
I'm
not gonna hurt you. I'm
slap?
just. What is it that you want? Why are you shaking me? Don't touch me.
He's drowning.
Who's drowning? Who?
There's a moke up next to a man. He's drowned. I can't do it on my own.
It's not
Help
my
him.
fault what you do? Do I? I didn't pass the check, so do I actually see
You
him?
didn't, but now it's pointed out. You can see sort of the bubbles and the hand that's thrashing around the surface as Scythian is trying to pull himself up.
I'll try to help him, I guess.
Okay, so you swim across. Arthur, are you joining Skarut to help save this man?
Yeah, why am I helping him? Why did
Yeah.
you swim past him to get me?
Because I'm a halfling. I can't lift a man in armor out of water. Arthur will do that thing where if something's happened and they can't really do anything to help, but he'll still just be floating around I'm sort of just looking and guarding the area like I'm helping, but I know I can't do anything.
Okay.
Sort of just be, hang on. Oh.
You're like the dad during childbirth.
Yeah, that is exactly what I'm doing.
Can I ask
Just holding
Arthur
somebody's hand
to try to pull the person up while I try to undo the armor?
Yeah, absolutely. He'll try. He just won't be leading the way.
No.
Okay, so Skarut, as you sort of dive down to look at this man to see what's happening, Scythian, you see this young elven man diving down, and there's a sort of, I imagine, you probably go like a buckle or whatever to gesture towards his buckles. I would like you to make me a coordination test to see if you can unbuckle this armor.
Okay. Hey, I'm a bit of a jelly. That's that's an 11, which would be a critical success. Yes, because they're
Hot
the same.
damn, yes, it would. Okay, so as a crit success, I would say that you managed to undo the fastenings, which is keeping it quite tight to his body. And you managed to free him from it. And with the crit success, you also managed to save his armor so it's not on the bottom of the riverbank. So, Scythian, you are freed from this armor and you feel like 50 stone lighter. Now you're not wearing it. And you see this little hand reach down to help pull you up out of the water. And as your head breaks the surface, you can breathe again.
You're all right. You're all right. Hang on. You're all right.
I hit the halfling again.
What's your problem, mate?
Don't hit me when you need help.
I
That's
didn't
what you
hit
sound
you.
like. I don't like it.
Do you have any idea how hard it is to swim when you're this
Yes.
size?
No.
Splashing around. There's just been some fucking explosion. Just shut up and save him, all right? We can argue about shit later on. And I'll be like clinging to Scythian like a buoyancy aid because I'm just a little bit wobbly.
Yeah, he's going to start trying to swim to shore. He's sick of this freaking water.
That's it, mate. Come on.
Maybe kicking your little legs.
Yeah, he had to help me along.
Yeah. I'm the real hero here.
So Violetta, as you manage to pull yourself out into the riverbank, you pull yourself up next to the elven woman with dark skin and blonde hair, who looks incredibly disheveled, much like yourself. She's just managed to rub the silt of the river from her eyes, and you see whatever the fuck just happened happen, and you see these three coming towards you on the riverbank.
Oh. You're right there.
Oh, silt is fucking terrible.
That's why you try to keep it away from the face.
I had so much control over that.
Point taken. Well, we should probably get out of here.
I think that is a good idea.
Do you know any place?
In the way that the sea is right now, I don't know of anywhere that would be the best place to go, but
Yes,
maybe
agreed.
my home.
And where's that?
Not in the Cathedral District.
That sounds ideal.
Should we, like, do I see what's going on in the water now?
Yes, so by this point, they've surfaced again, and Scythian is making his way to the bank with Arthur around his neck and Scrooge closely behind. Helping. Arthur helping.
Recognize two of those. Perhaps we should help them get out of the water and then go to somewhere. One of them's my neighbor, so
I'll just kind of turn and look at the three of them.
the one helped me get out of the Cathedral District, and the other is my neighbor, so I feel kind of obligated.
And I recognize one of them, I'm pretty sure, but I will
don't
not
meet your
say
eyes.
anything. But I see you, so I'll kind of cock an eyebrow at that. Yes, all right, let's be noble. All right, sure.
You never know. Being noble can gain you some friends and favors, so.
Well, I just lost my noble, so.
I'm sure you're not the only one, but we will focus on the ones we can save. So she's gonna kind of like wade a little bit into the water, trying to catch her breath at the same time, like, and then like hold out a hand to whoever's closest.
You should get that looked at, and I'll follow.
So as Scythian, Arthur, and Skarut, you sort of make your way to the riverbank. You're met by Violetta and Herta.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Help him up. Help him. Oh, come on.
Don't
Get
trust
us out.
the halfling, he's an asshole.
I'm gonna reach for Scythian first.
Oh, right,
he's
that's how it is it? And Arthur like drags him, like flops, and just like starts to drag himself out of the water.
Oh, I mean, Scythian, the second he hits solid ground, he's just collapsed. He's exhausted, absolutely exhausted, and he's just going and just vomits, just walks out, just right in.
As you do so, Scythian, it is ice cold. And not only do you feel it come out of your mouth, it's that horrible, like, it comes out of everywhere. It's your mouth, it's your nose, it's your ears, even some, like, out of your eyes. And as it tumbles from your body, it's like ice chips. It's freezing cold, and it's piercing, and it hurts. It is very painful. And as it tumbles from your ear, you feel on your neck, you feel a very cold, cold burn.
Oh, okay. And he's so as he kind of vomits, I imagine some blood came out of that as it pierced his throat as it came up. So he's got blood dripping from his lips, and he'll kind of just almost hit it, and then he would touch his neck and just and just go on the back as he just touches this just white burn on his, like, on the side of his neck, and he just slams the ground. Just, what the hell? And he'll kind of start pulling, because he's probably got just like a shirt on, because the brigandine was torn off. So you'll start pulling that off as well to see how far it goes down, and it's like his all the way down his torso, and his entire left arm is just white. It seems like burn white, and he's just staring at it in absolute agony. Oh God! Oh!
I slap him. Get it together. You can have concerns later. Right now, survive.
I punch him.
Okay, so
First session.
first session, PvP, here we at. Okay, so no, actually, this is really good because it will give us a chance to practice how we do combat. So, Tom,
Yes.
as a punch,
Yes.
I would like you to make me a melee attack.
Okay. That's a 52, and my melee attack is 59.
Okay, so that is successful. Now, Gabe, if you don't want to be punched by this, you can parry this if you would like to.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to make me a basically roll a parry. I believe that's actually a thing, right? It's a stat on your thingy majig. So if you
Yes.
roll me a parry test, it's a combat-based skill test.
Okay. So it's a 28 with a 43, so that would be a success.
A success. Okay, so Siphon, as you swing to punch this man, you sort of like just knock the fist out of the way and move your head as you feel it come at you.
Good.
I mean, it was just like one. That was all his energy, and then he's just down because he's exhausted.
I smile and good. That means you can still move.
And he kind of just gets up on the thing. Whole left side is just in absolute agony.
I toss the armor to Arthur and say, "Hold this." I don't really pay attention. I just toss it at him.
Arthur, this suit of armor is probably about as big as you are. Just comes at you out of nowhere.
And I'm a pick Scythian up and like kind of like lead him on my shoulder.
Yeah. Cheers. And he'll tap him. Oh, thank you. Oh. And he's going to look around and kind of just take in the chaos. And he's going to look for Alex. Can you see Alex?
So roll me an awareness test.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Violetta is rooting around in her pockets for a cigarette. So you're digging around, and you pull out your little cigarette case. It's a beautiful ornate silver one. It's a gift from Antoinette. And as you open it up, river water just pours out of it, and all your cigarettes are wet.
There's a lot of quiet swearing as I just replace the ornate case.
All right, Scythian, what was that awareness test?
I failed.
You failed.
77.
Okay.
Yeah, I critically
So
failed.
You desperately start scanning around looking for Alex in this mayhem, this chaos around you, and you don't see her.
Okay. Well, I hope she got out. Is everyone else okay?
Did you see where the dog went?
Dog?
No, I didn't see him after the earthquake, or whatever that was.
You lost a dog?
It's a big dog.
The beast, the hunt. It's loose.
Oh!
Well,
It's
hopefully it died.
When you say that, I kind of like side eye and look at the ground.
He's kind of he checks to see if his sword is still there. He's probably lost his shield. His shield's gone.
Your shield is gone. You do still have that sword.
Okay, and he after a moment of catching his breath, he kind of eases off Skurut and kind of tries to stand. He's hunching a little because he's just so much in pain, and he looks around and are there any other survivors, or is just corpses everywhere?
There are people now starting to pull themselves up onto the riverbank, but there are a lot of bodies here.
Okay. He's going to, with what little strength he has, start helping people onto the bank.
No.
He's like,
No. She's gonna like start dragging him away. You yourself are injured. You are in no position to help people.
Hey, I've got to at least try. And he's just
You
goes
already stayed
down
strong.
on one knee.
Yeah. Okay. So, anybody want to help me get him to, where Arthur and I are from? He's my neighbor, so maybe we can find a place for him to rest, whether with Arthur or me. No. Okay. And she just like
it's
tries to
I
pick
can
up Scythian.
He'll get up. I can walk. It's a stagger of a walk, but he can just about walk.
She's still gonna like try and support him, arm around the ribs, but like gently.
And he turns to Arthur, who's holding his rig-a-digger, and he'll kind of smile. Thank you.
Well, I was going to say, Arthur won't be holding it.
Oh, okay. It's
not even a chance. I've taken it to the face, so I just let it fall on the mud of the bank, and Arthur's still just sort of sat there, shaking himself off. Not quite sure why he's been hit twice already for attempting to save a bloke. And he's so I guess actually at this point he'll probably he will dust himself off and I guess like hold the armor up. But he'll just say, right, it was a pleasure meeting you all, but I had responsibilities before I got here. Timmy! And he's just going to start like scanning out and desperately looking for Timmy.
Okay, maybe that awareness test.
Where's my awareness gone? 41, okay. That's a big fail.
That's like double what you don't want.
That's exactly, that's exactly, yeah.
So you are desperately calling out into the darkness looking for this kid, and you get nothing in return. You hear a voice going back going, I'm a Timmy! But it's not Timmy. Not your Timmy.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that stupid fucking kid. And I think... What will he do? I think at that point he'll turn to Scythian and just look up and go, "You right then?"
No, not really, but I will be.
Do you have any idea what's going on? You look like you're supposed to be in charge or something.
No, I'm just a temple guard. I just tried to get as many people out as I could.
Guard of which temple? There's like 40 of the fuckers.
The protector.
Oh, right. Well, look, I don't think any of us should stay here, all right? A stupid night of the hunt as a beast roaming around. We should all be at home. A goddamn explosion of blue fire. I'm off.
How?
I want my fire and my kettle.
How
Oh
close
my
am
God.
I? How close am I to my house? I'm like, is it close?
Yeah, it's fairly close to where you live because you live pretty close to the cathedral
Yeah.
ward. You know, you're right there on the edge. So it's not far away from you or the pub, which what was it, the 14th?
The 14th, yeah.
Yeah.
The 14th. You know what? Okay. Because I think in times of emergencies, pubs and stuff become kind of like triage kind of stuff.
Mhm.
A lot of people go there and a lot of healing happens. I would imagine. I'm guessing this, but it just makes sense. Have a
Yeah.
pint while healing. So he's gonna. If we head to the 14th, it's not far. That should have some healers there, and maybe he'll be able to help. At least if there are survivors, they'll probably be going there as well.
If that's where you want to go.
Yeah.
They got alcohol, right? I need a bloody drink.
Oh, they've got alcohol. Yeah.
All right.
Thought you were worried about Timmy.
I am. But he's got armor and a sword. And if you hit me again, I'm going to remind him that I saved his life and he can stab you. All right? Fair deal. Let's go to the pub.
I feel in my pocket for a little bit of wire just to make sure that it's there, and then I follow.
Okay, that's ominous. All right, so you're all heading to the 14th with Scythian then. Okay, so as you make your way through the streets towards the 14th, you can see that everything is chaotic now around you. There are people out in the streets that wouldn't be on a night like tonight, and they're shouting and calling. There's bells ringing across the city now as orders are being shouted from city guard to get buckets for a bucket brigade to put out fires, to try and get as many people out as they can, to lock down the cathedral wall, to stop anyone getting in or out, because they don't know what happened. It's under containment. Every bridge that you can see now that leads to the cathedral wall, because it's on its own like little island in the middle, is now got like a complement of guards on it, sort of blockading it. And there's just people everywhere in the streets. And as you arrive towards the 14th, you can see that the doors are open. There's lots of lights spilling out. And there's people coming toing and froing, a couple with like bandages wrapped around them. There's one like bloke that comes out with like 6 pints in his hands, doing that, oh god, if I drop one, they're all done sort of hold, as he comes up to a table and sits them down. And everyone just looks very dour and confused, and the mood is not great.
Right. I'll get the first round in, shall I? Who's having what?
I think I'll need a flagon of mead. Oh, if you just put me down there, if you wouldn't mind.
All right. One flagon of mead.
Make that 2.
2. Let's go full house. 3, 4, 5 flagons of mead, is it?
Yeah, let's just, yeah. Ugh.
I'll even buy you one, despite the fact you gave me a clip round the ear. We'll call it quits. All right. He says to Skarut.
Oh, he knows. He just stares at you and smiles.
Okay, right.
Very slowly.
So Arthur. Oh no, we lost the Dark Mistress. Well,
okay.
Arthur will go into the bar, which is probably far too high for him to even reach, but he's gonna go in anyway to see if he can order drinks.
Yeah, I'm sure there's
I'm gonna
steps.
pick
These
you
are
up.
these halflings. It's halfling accessible.
Halfling.
You know, it's
Oh, there's like the little wallpaper stairs that you put.
Yeah.
The little step, just like 3 steps. So that's all it is, like for kids to get up to the toilet.
that's
oh my
it.
god.
I would probably call after Arthur. Make it absinthe if they have some, please.
Oh.
All right, so there's 4 flagons of ale and a real drink for the lady. Lovely jubbly.
And
He'll go into the pub.
I'm going to go in as well and look for someone who can look at this.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
that,
Does it look as bad as it feels?
It's an interesting effect.
Right.
She's just gonna walk inside.
Okay. Right. And he'll turn to Skarut. I'm assuming he's still there.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll kind of just thank you for helping me out of the water.
You're welcome.
I probably wouldn't have made it.
Yes,
Not
that
with the
was
help
so noble
of
of
a-
you.
I don't look at Violetta.
I am staring directly at Skarut.
I am trying to be better. And I'm gonna go over to Arthur and like put an arm around him and kind of friendly. I did a good thing. And I don't like the way you speak to me, stranger. I've seen you in the tunnels and I know you have seen me. But what I am doing down there is probably worse. So, in the future, if you want something, ask. Do not tell. Deal?
I did ask, didn't I?
No, you did not. You told
Oh.
me to do something and touched me.
Are you're not a big toucher then?
People don't usually like to be touched without their permission. And I squeeze a little tighter.
I'm confused because that appears to be exactly what you're doing right now. You're not a hypocrite, are you? That'd be awful.
No,
He just looks up with a massive smirk on his face.
I'm someone who knows where to leave trash. And then I'm gonna go take my drink and just sit away somewhere. Hi, Susie.
Hey, I came back
boy.
to. Hi. Wow, it's good atmosphere. It's good friendly atmosphere. Okay, so drinks have been gathered. It's time to take a moment.
To look at.
Oh, okay. You were trying to find somebody? Okay. So
Yeah.
you sort of head inside and you look around for anyone that might know what to do with regards to Scythian and his strange new affliction. And you can see someone up ahead, a sort of a human man with dark skin, a shaved head, and he's got sleeves rolled up. And he's kind of got semi-bloody hands, and he's kind of stitching someone's face back together. Just sat on a table.
Keep up the good work. And she walks right back out to get her drink. No.
So this is inside, so Arthur could see this as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I think like Arthur will probably like had a little bit of a chat with the barkeep as well, and just sort of got the lie of the land. And as he'll come down, because I think Violetta hasn't come in to pick up her drink, has she? She's still outside at the bench where we've plopped Scythian.
Yes.
So I'll like jump down from the bar. We've decided there was a halfling accessible steps with my flagon of ale
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and the absinthe. But as I walk past the man stitching up the other man, I just lean over. You're not one of them healer types, are you?
And he's deep in concentration, and he's kind of like that concentrated where the tongue sticks out a little bit. He's like, "Yep, I'm a doctor. What do you want?"
Seen any new like weird stuff tonight? We got a man outside nearly drowned, and then his face is all like white and acidy, and it hurts apparently.
What? And he kind of pulls a bit tight on this person's stitch, and they're like, "Ah!" It's like their eyebrow now up here somewhere.
And Arthur will just like pat the guy that's getting the stitch on the head, like really there, shush. Right, yeah, no, he's outside, isn't he? Like white on his neck It's horrible. He said it burnt, but it was freezing fucking cold. So I don't know what he's on about. He might be a bit, doolally. But when you got a minute, Doc, outside on the bench, a couple of coins in it for you.
And he just finishes up this thing and says, I'll be right out.
Perfect.
Stitching, whatever you do when you stitch something. I've never had stitches. Okay, so Arthur, you head back outside and you met with the rest of them, except for Scroot, who is too cool and too mad at everybody else to hang out with them.
I'm inside hanging with Riff Raff and talking nonsense.
Ne'er-do-wells. Yeah.
Yep.
Getting warm by the fire.
I hand up Violetta a drink. There you go, gorgeous.
I take it, and I just down the whole thing in one up.
Downing absinthe.
Herta's just gonna kind of lean down and over to Arthur and be like, "She just lost her noble," is what she told me.
Lost a noble? That's very careless.
I don't know why I say anything to you.
I'm just trying to understand. All right, she lost a noble. What does that mean? What? I don't know why you like this, Hetta. I'll be honest. All right, I've been nothing but humble and civil to you, and your little stall in the market.
So, someone I suspect that someone close to her died.
Oh, well, in that case, I feel like a grade A Muppet. Hang on a minute.
There you go.
Would you like another? I'll get you another. You look like you're having a rough night.
Yep.
All right, Arthur, go straight back in to get another absinthe for her.
Okay, and this time as you head back out with the second absinthe, the doctor joins you. And he comes up to the table and he says, which one of you is the one with the scar?
Did he wash his hands?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Just
should
making
see it.
sure.
I know this is the medieval times, but
Yeah.
I'm convinced.
Siphon will kind of hold his flagon up to say it's him and then take a swig and put it down, waiting for the doctor to come forward.
Yeah, and he comes up to you and he sort of pulls out a chair and sits across from you. He does the usual doctory thing, like checks your eyes to make sure you're not concussed, asks you to follow his finger. And then he starts doing diagnostic stuff, like he touches it.
Oh!
I guess that hurts, yeah.
It's like a burn, but cold. Very cold.
His fingers are still on it, but very lightly. Yeah, it's cold to the touch. That's... It's not anything I've ever seen before. And your hair, too.
My what?
Your hair, there's a streak. Was that there before?
He's going to touch it and kind of... Is the hair cold?
The hair is also cold, and it feels like a different texture.
No. It... I don't know what this is.
And he sort of leans forward. He says, "Look, son, were you close to whatever just happened over there?"
And he'll pause and think back and remember he was really far back in front because he could remember seeing everyone in that bloody old man. Yeah, I think I was real close.
And he's with all the grace of a doctor with not much bedside manner and iron hands, like my actual doctor. He sort of takes your head and sort of turns you so he can get a better look at it. He pulls down your shirt to inspect you more, and his hands are cold and hard to the touch as he's sort of poking and prodding you. And he's making a lot of quiet, interesting sounds as he's looking at you. Before he pulls back. I don't think this is anything natural or normal. I think this is magical.
What?
I am watching this so intently.
There's nothing I know of that could do that to a person. That's not fire. That's not extreme cold. Extreme cold, you would have frostbite, the skin would be much different. This is something different.
Right,
So do we
right.
need to see a different expert?
I don't know, but you might be the biggest clue we have as to what has just happened.
I'm gonna need a moment, and he's gonna get up, and he's gonna kind of like just walk away from the pub, and he just wants to get to a quiet area, and he's gonna get on his knees, and he's gonna just start praying and hope something comes to him of a reason why this has happened.
Okay, so the rest of you watch as Scythian just gets up and walks away somewhere quiet.
I'm going to follow him, but at a distance, just to make sure. Because, I mean, he saw me out of the disaster zone, so I'd like to return the favor and make sure he's okay.
Okay, I'd like you to roll me a stealth test if you're following him at a distance, and Scythian, roll me an awareness test.
Oh boy. I'm gonna fail this so hard. Where is my stealth? Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I failed too.
But Herta critically failed. So as you are
behind you.
as you're walking ahead,
Suddenly got one of those one-man band machines just appears on you as you walk.
So here's the thing, Fred, right? We have half an hour left. There's 4 rolls, 4 rerolls left.
I'll use a reroll because that that is much better.
There
That
you
is a
go.
success for me.
So, Scythian, as you walk ahead, your head is filled with all sorts of questions, all sorts of worries and panic. You're thinking of prayers, muttering them to yourselves. As Heta, you follow quietly behind just to make sure he's okay, and you see him sort of head off and find a quiet place. So he begins to kneel in prayer. Meanwhile, back at the table, the doctor turns to you, Violetta, and Arthur. Do you know that man?
Well, I mean, not intimately. I only met him tonight. Saved his life. Just saying, you know. Oh, by the way, we don't pay, right? If you can't diagnose him.
It's a disaster. You wouldn't be. Money's not important right now.
And I put my coins just slightly back in my pocket. Oh, right, yes, no, of course, yeah, time of need and all that. But no, don't know him. Why?
And he turns to Violetta. Do you know him?
Never seen him a day in my life. Why?
Because that man might have the answer as to what that was. Were you there when it happened?
Was in the area. Regretfully. What makes you think he has the answers?
Well, he's carrying a huge magical wound. It's not something you see often.
No, I suppose it's not. In any of my research, would I be able to put any puzzle pieces together about what potentially could have happened or what powers might be at play here?
Sure, let's find a test for this, because I always like tests like that. Roll me a... Let's try an education test.
Oh, goody. Okay. I have to be lower than a 51. That's a 35.
35. Okay, so in your secret text that you've read, that technically you're not supposed to be reading, wink, you have heard of all sorts of manners of different sort of spells, curses, hexes, strange arcane and demonic things that affect people in different ways. Now, you've never heard specifically of ice cold flame or anything similar of that, something that would be capable of rending a building in two. But with the stuff you have read about, doesn't seem super out of the ordinary, that maybe it was something either incredibly arcane or something demonic.
And does this doctor look like someone I might have run into in certain circles or salons?
Roll me a, let's do a scrutinize test on this one.
Ooh.
Because it was not uncommon for people to disguise their appearances at these places.
That's an 11.
An 11? That's a critical success. So, there's one particular salon that you like to frequent, in where people wear masks to obscure their appearance, to hide their identities, because if it were discovered that they were reading about such sordid and tawdry things, their reputations would be ruined. But you can't fully disguise a voice. And there's something about this man's voice, and specifically his hands. This man's hands are quite familiar. You've seen them at work a lot in one of these salons.
I'll just kind of let my eyes linger a little too long with hard eye contact.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps it would be ideal to keep an eye on him. It'd be unfortunate if someone in certain circles, of course, were to find out about it.
And he sort of looks at you, and there's a moment, and Arthur, you probably detect this beat where the conversation has got quite intense between Violetta and this gentleman, when he sort of looks and nods. Very well. If you can be that set of eyes, I have a lot of patients here to attend to.
Yes, I think you're much needed elsewhere. I'll do you that service, Doctor.
He nods, miss, sir, and then he heads back into the pub before looking back over his shoulder one last time at Violetta.
I don't look. I am just gazing out into the distance, sipping my absinthe and mourning the fact that I do not have a cigarette.
And I think Arthur will just, because he's, a halfling, and he'll just been just watching this interaction going on, and then just sort of look at Violetta with a slight smirk of admiration. Like, oh, all right. And then when she stops and starts, looking out, Arthur will turn to her. You got something on your mind there?
You lose anyone?
What, tonight?
Yeah.
I don't know yet. I had a little boy with me. Well, I say little, weighed a fucking ton, but I was trying to save him. He little shit got himself trapped in the temple. I was running out of him when the bang happened. When I woke up, he was gone. So, in all honesty, I don't know. You?
Well, the bang happened, and then the bang happened. So.
Oh.
Not sure.
Right. One of those.
One of those.
Close?
Relatively.
Oh, yeah. I know that relativity game. Got any plans now? Other than, of course, having a very watchful and utterly careful, caring eye on our new white flaked friend over here.
All right. And as Arthur says that, his voice carries down the street. And we move to Scythian, who is deep in prayer. And you hear, that was weirdly appropriate. As you are praying, Siphon, your eyes are closed, your hands are clasped in front of you, and you are desperately trying to channel the power of the Protector to come offer you something in your time of need. But your head is ringing, and it's like a terrible din of clanging pots and pans inside your head as you do so.
Okay. He'll just take a deep breath and kind of climb back to his feet. In his mind, he's thinking his adrenaline was probably pumping. He's on the come down now of all that adrenaline, and he's just exhausted. So all he needs is sleep. And he's gonna head out from where he was and head back to the pub. And when he meets everyone there, unless something happens to him on the way back.
I mean, you probably run into Herta on your way back, because she was definitely keeping an eye on you.
But just before we get into Herta and Siphion's little mini confrontation, I just want to give a huge thanks to all those subs for giving us those wild magic surges. You are now responsible for the condition of Siphion's inner monologue, which is a child with a wooden spoon on some pots and pans in his head. Ding, ding, ding. And we did roll the previous one, so it is banked, and it's ready for Gabe when the situation arrives. So, come back to Herta and Scythian.
He kind of, as he turns and he sees, he probably shocked to see. I thought you were in the 14th. Are you okay?
I'm fine, but I was concerned about you, so I figured I would follow. I don't want you passing out on the street. You helped me, so I didn't want you to.
No, thank you for that. That's very grateful. Thank you. And he'll kind of extend his hand to Shea. My name's Scythian.
Herta. She'll reach out and shake. Yeah.
Herta, thank you for all your help.
You helped me first, so should we go back to the 14th though?
Yes, we'll go back, have one more drink, and then I think I'm going to head home.
Where is home for you?
Yeah, my house, it's not far from here. It's just down the street and a couple of turns just down there.
So not in the blast zone?
No, thankfully.
Good. All right, let's go back.
And head back?
All right, and you head back to join the others at the table. Skarut, inside the pub, what are you up to exactly?
Probably acting like I'm getting drunk with all the ne'er-do-wells around, but seeing who has any loose lips.
Mm-hmm.
See who maybe saw where the thing went or knows something that's happening. Just any sort of information that might be valuable.
Okay, roll me an awareness test.
All right. That's a fail. That's a 75.
75. Okay. So you are sort of, you're sitting back, you're pretending you've had a couple too many drinks, you like got a little practice hiccup going on, a little sway. And you're kind of actively listening out for anyone that might have seen this beast, this terrible fiend that had been unleashed upon the city, when you feel a tap on your shoulder. And you look up to see a very familiar heavy leather coat and a belt that is missing a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
And the man looks down. He's still wearing the mask. The hat is off now. You see he's kind of balding on top. He's not got a lot of hair. He goes, "Is that my fucking pistol in your waist?"
So, question, is the pistol the size of a knife?
No, it's like one of those old flintlocky pistols. It's one of those chunky deals.
I pulled it out. Probably I found it while I was running away. It seemed interesting. Is this yours?
You found it while you were running away. Is that what you're going with?
So you're saying if, as a person without so much money, I see something that looks shiny and valuable while I'm running away, even though I'm already poor, it's strange that I would pick it up and take it with me.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it wouldn't have fallen off my belt anyway without a little bit of help.
So someone took it and dropped it?
Are you... And you see him sort of like bite his lip. Do you think you're fucking funny?
No, if I was funny, I'd be on stage telling jokes. I'm poor and tired.
And he sort of leans down and gets right in your ear. I don't think you're very funny. I think you're a little fucking thief. And nobody steals anything from me.
Okay, and then I hand him the pistol. Well, I hope you figured out who stole it. Because if it was really me, why would I still be sitting here?
Okay, and he looks so confused as you hand it back to him. And
I'm glad you found your pistol.
And he sort of like doesn't know what to do. He was ready to knock your lights out. He was ready for a fight. And he kind of just goes, thanks then, I guess.
What was your name? What was your name? Shit. What was your name? Good Lord.
Phil.
I feel that big mood.
Phil. Cal. Pleasure to meet you. I am sorry that your pistol was lost, but I am glad you found it.
And he still doesn't know how to take you here. This is the ultimate in like pub escalation that just got immediately rapidly de-escalated, and he's like,
would you like a
thanks,
drink?
No, I'm all right, thanks. But yeah, I'll catch you around then, I guess.
By the way, there is a missing Timmy somewhere. Just
Well, you
be
think he
careful.
took it?
Possibly. There was someone looking for them, and the person who was looking for them was very suspicious.
What did he
Might
look
have been
like?
Well, the person who was looking for them was a halfling, but I assume that Timmy was a child. Like, children do steal things very often.
They do, the little bastards around here.
Little shits indeed. Good luck, Phil. Stay safe.
Alright, thanks for the heads up. Take care, yeah? And he gives you one of those like really manly sort of shoulder squeezes.
Yeah.
As he walks out. And now you see him looking around for any sort of halfling in the pub before he heads back outside. And Arthur, you see this tall man that's balding on top, wearing all this incredibly nice hunter gear. And he's sort of scanning around. He's clearly looking for someone outside. And you recognize this guy. He is one of the local thugs. You think he's never really officially announced who he works for, but he's definitely a paid goon. And you've seen him around the market.
Do I get any sense that he's looking for me? Like, do we make eye contact? Is he heading towards me, or is he just scanning?
He's scanning right now.
Okay. Arthur, I mean, at this point, Arthur's got no reason to suspect he's in trouble, so he's just going to carry on drinking. He'll sit there, just vaguely aware of his surroundings, sees the guy come out, recognizes him, but sort of like Oh, okay,
Uh-huh.
he's here. Keeps like him in his periphery, but just, keeps having his flag in a veil.
All right. And so I'm going to roll an awareness test for Phil. Let's see how well Phil does. See if he spots you. Where is he?
Be shit and drunk, Phil.
That is a 94, but I'm going to use one of my tokens to re-roll it.
Oh,
I've got
good.
lots of them. It's worse.
Oh my gosh, Phil, you suck.
So
The thing is, the evil
Phil-
one in me is like, just roll it again. I'm trying to make it worse for myself.
So Phil is just kind of like looking around, and you see him sort of stomp off down the street a bit and hear him chuntering under his breath about fucking halflings and fucking kids and fucking. There's a lot of fucks happening coming out of his face as he's stomping down the street. But nonetheless, you are once again left in peace to drink your drink. Scythian, you have returned to the table.
Okay. I sit back down. I get my flagon of ale and take a drink it, and puts it back down. I think it was rude of me not to introduce myself after everything you all have done for me. So, my name is Scythian Coslet. I'm a guard at the Temple of the Cathedral of the Protector. Thank you all for the help that you have given me tonight. But,
seeing as we're doing intros then, after I hop up on the bench, and so almost straighten his jacket a little bit. Arthur Mythfold, purveyor of fine silks and timepieces at your service. Hello, 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 hello. Pleasure. And then scuttle back down and sit on the bench.
What was that, Gabe? Sorry?
This is in the tavern?
Yeah, this is just outside. Yeah.
Just outside on our bench.
Probably loud enough to hear.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna dare one of the drunk people next to me to say your hair looks like a horse's arse.
And the drink next to you is like, I'll take that fucking bet, my son. Downs the drink and just goes, your hair looks like an horse's arse, you fucking wanker.
You should know, my son, you spend long enough kissing them anymore. Thank you very much. I've been here all night trying to veal.
Siphon's just laughing and wincing at the same time. It's so painful to laugh.
I'm gonna make my way over there after. I respect him a little bit for that one, actually.
For the lovely lady here who does not know, I am Herta Stella's daughter. I am Arthur's neighbor.
She's a good neighbour and all. You need milk, sugar, friendly smile in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you know each other.
Yes.
Very well. Best of friends, we like that.
Oh.
You want cards reading? She'll tell you all about the stars, and it's dirt cheap and all. You ought to put your prices up, love.
You're an astrologer.
Yes. She's still just looking at Arthur what is your fucking angle here?
All the angles.
Yes, I'm an astrologer. I do all sorts of divination techniques, if you would.
Good to know. Violetta Orsanov charmed, I'm sure, and I'll just take another drink. Does anyone have a cigarette?
No, afraid not.
After Violetta says something, I'm gonna sit down at the table. Pleasure to finally meet you, Violetta.
Oh, you know each other?
Yes, we do.
You neighbors too?
In a way.
Oh, well, I kind of feel like the odd one out here. You all seem to know each other.
I don't know that one, and I point to Arthur.
This is my first time meeting either of these.
Well,
I ignore the point and say to Scythian, it's not true. Me and you now share a sacred bond of being through a terrible situation together. We are blood brothers now. Best of mates, you and me.
Herta just gives Skarut like a view, like this look of like solidarity, like, yeah, welcome to the club.
My name is
well,
you, and I look to Arthur. Do you know someone named Phil?
Phil? Yeah, he's a twat. Why?
Bold. Avoid Phil.
Avoid Phil? I know, he smells like shit. How do you know Phil?
Skarut doesn't know Phil.
Well, I'd keep it that way. The right mug.
All right. So, as you all share a drink, watching as people come in wounded, disoriented, upset, the cathedral district sort of burns in the background as you see the starting of the rescue operations going on in the dark. That is where we're gonna end for this week. We finally got everybody together and talking, and they called, you introduced each other right at the end. We got there. But before we do, Zweihander has a very cool thing called corruption. And corruption is a very, very fun thing, narratively speaking, and sort of mechanically, in which at the end of each session, it is awarded out to people that may have done things that are maybe a little bit morally iffy. But because this is Encounter Roleplay, and we like to unleash the Chaos Chorus, we have a poll for you this week. In which of our lovely, lovely friends here is going to get some corruption? It is 0 for Scythian, 1 for Skarut, 2 for Violetta, 3 for Herta, and 4 for Arthur. So which one of these precious sweet cinnamon roll souls would you like to see move a little bit closer to that chaos alignment? And while chat is voting away, what we'll do is we'll go around and see who we'll say who we are, where you can find us, and if we had fun tonight. So we will go clockwise. Gabe. Sorry, I just caught you as you were typing there. Sorry.
That's fine. Hi, I'm Gabe James Games on Twitch and Twitter. Designer, cosplayer, and you're a delightful burglary boy. This is gonna be delightful and interesting. I like Jay. You as a person, I adore you. But this confrontation we have is gonna get either one of us or somebody else killed. Maybe Timmy. I don't know. But I'm loving it.
It's got to be Phil. It's got to be Phil. We'll bond over hatred of Phil.
That's true.
Damn Phil.
That pistol. That's my new personal goal in life. Screw the dog.
It's a really nice pistol, Gabe. It's really nice. It's got like an oyster inlay with gold. And
I'm a little mad he found me. That's actually, I got some questions I have to talk to Phil about.
All right, where can we find you on the internet, Gabe?
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, pretty much anywhere as Gabe James Games.
Thank you very much. And Skarut is a delight. I can't wait to see what happens and where we go with that. Speaking of a delight, Tom, hey buddy. See
that was
nice
a sweet segue. Yeah, it really was. Thank you so much for DMing, Susie. It was great. I love playing it, even though I almost drowned. I lagged behind and almost died several times. But that's the fun, isn't it? Almost dying so many times. It's great. It's a very interesting system. As someone who's played a lot of Call of Cthulhu, I understand the 100% system, but obviously it's different to what I'm used to. And I just can't seem to roll what I need. I'm just high 70s, 90 bloody 9 at one point. So that was fun. But really enjoyed it and loving all the characters, and the fact that we kind of met. It was just like a calamity of destruction. That's kind of like all these misfits kind of come together. It's a great story beginning. I can't wait to learn more about the characters and see how they interact with each other, the relationships bounce off one another, and where the story goes. But I'm myself, HotFlakesTom. You can find me on Twitter with HotFlakesTom. Always gets a smirk out of Susie. It's why I did it. Or you can check me out on Discord, Encounter Roleplay Discord, and around places. Yeah, check me out.
All right. Speaking of people to check out, we get Angie. Nailed it.
Oh, what a segue. Hi, I'm Angie. Oh my goodness. This crew is wow. And I'm really waiting, Charlie. I've done it to you now, Susie. The tables have turned. I'm really excited, Susie, to see what you do to make us cry. Because I know it's gonna happen. There are children and wives and families involved, and it's just, yeah. You've already crushed Violetta, so.
No, hey, I crushed Antoinette. I mean, what?
Oh my. Yeah, just this is a whole new. I've never actually played like a D10 system before, so this is entirely new for me, and I'm really enjoying it. It feels a lot more simpler than I thought it would. A lot more simpler words. But anyway, you can find me around the internet as Banjalirp on Twitch, on Twitter. I do art, I do games, I do tabletop other than this. Yeah, you can find me on Tuesdays at Hollowtail for Mistborn. And otherwise, just check out my streaming schedule. It is pinned on my Twitter.
All right. I don't have a segue from pinned on Twitter to Quinn, so we'll just...
Speaking of pinned, like Violetta always is.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a bit of a stretch, but we'll take it. Hey,
look, it was either Violetta or Antoinette, okay? So...
Yeah, pour one out for Antoinette. F's in the chat for Antoinette. She was really hot in my headcanon. She's dead now. I assume. Hey, I'm Quinn, Quintastic _ on Twitter, or just Quintastic on Twitch. I am a TTRPG writer, designer, and actual player and variety streamer. I actually have a new game coming out on Friday about Ophelia, a la Hamlet, which will give you a lot of feelings, guaranteed, no matter how you feel about Hamlet. So check my socials for that. I actually, at 7 Eastern tonight, so in like 2 hours, I will be on another stream where Roots Remain. And Gabe, is that on your channel?
I'll post a link to it on my Twitter.
Okay, it'll be on Twitter. I will be playing a very different character who is not Violetta, who is actually a wholesome being. Yeah. Antoinette's dead and sad, but you didn't kill my aunt yet, so you can crush me again, Susie.
Yeah. Like, this,
great.
You folks gave me these characters. I have to do it. I gotta do it to you. I'm sorry.
You do. You're right. You're right. But yeah, check out my socials for my schedule and stuff. And this is my first time with the system, and it was a lot of fun, and y'all are great, and nothing dubious happened in front of Arthur at all. Yeah.
Speaking of incredibly dubious people, hey Jay.
Wait, hang on. I like it was Hey Jay and not Hey Arthur. Wow. What's with the drive-by? Hi, everyone. I'm Jay. You can find me on Twitch as Jay Britton. Today was a lot of fun. It's been really nice diving back into Zweihander. I really like this system. And I'm thoroughly enjoying being Arthur because it gives me so many excuses to just be a Cockney wide boy and just be generally a bit odd and peculiar. If you like the Zweihander system, I actually did a stream for character creation a couple of days back, so that'll be on the VOD if you're wondering like how the system actually works for building your character. And the guys at Zweihander have kindly given me a physical copy to give away. I think I'm going to be streaming on Friday this week, so if you pop along to my Twitch channel, we'll do a raffle to give away a physical copy of the lovely thing that it is. It's so good and so heavy, but it's a great book. And that's pretty much me. You can find me on Twitter, Voice J Britton, or Twitch, just J Britton, and that's it. And I'm off to go and have another pint and stuff, and nurse my sore head from being hit all night. And what about Timmy?
Poor
I need
Timmy.
to know about Timmy. I cannot go this campaign without knowing about Timmy. I'm going to put it.
Save Timmy.
Save Timmy.
Must save Timmy. But before I do my little spiel about who I am, where you can find me, we're going to do one last Wild Magic Surge as a celebration of our premiere. So I'm going to roll a d6. 1 is me, 6 is Gabe, and we'll see who gets it. It is Angie, Herta. So I'm going to just roll that 1d10,000. And that is 3939.
Isn't actually Quinn?
Oh, sorry, it is Quinn. I cannot do simple mathematics. 1, 2, 3. You are 4. Yes, sorry, Angie. So that is Quinn with a 3939. I don't actually currently have the thing up right now, but our overlord, oh, there she is. Oh.
Dodge that bullet!
When seen from behind, Violetta's torso is riddled with large holes. So we'll see how that plays out next week. But as for me, I am Susie, otherwise known as Susanna Grace. You can find me all over the internet at Susanna Grace. I'm a variety streamer who does video games, art streams, and tabletop RPGs. You will next find me here on Friday for Judge Dredd, where I play the fabulous Judge Judy. After a little bit of light Judge Murder, we'll be back this week on the block, so we'll see how it goes. But until then, I guess that's it from everybody for today, unless we have any last-minute pleas for help.
Don't we have to do the corruption?
Oh, the corruption poll. That's right. Do we have a winner of the poll, Charlie? Yeah,
I'm sorry, I
thought.
just thought.
I don't know what the results of our poll were. I missed it, I think.
Dang it, Tom!
Oh no, it's in chat.
Shoot. I genuinely didn't. I had no idea what the results were because I didn't look.
I
my
knew.
God, Gabe. I'm so sorry.
Tut.
I didn't mean to. I thought I was helping.
I
Okay.
saved you! I should have let you drown!
So, our vote is closed. And
Good.
it is Skaroot who is going to get a little bit extra corruption this week. And we are going to head out, but we are going to be raiding Tabletop Horde, who is our GM for Dread on Fridays. Virginia is lovely and wonderful, fantastic GM, and she's currently playing Tomb Raider. But we will be right back here tomorrow at 4 p.m. EST for Unhallowed Metropolis, Death's Curios. We'll see you soon, folks.